Hello, everyone. Welcome to EdFest. We are so excited to be here with you all.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's here. Oh,
I
hello everybody. I'm so
know.
excited to be right next to this fabulous person right here. I'm so excited. Let's see who's here.
Please say hi in the chat. We'd love to see where you're coming from. I've been seeing some messages as of a while ago now. Let's see. Hi
Yuritsa's here,
from
and she's one of our
Chris.
presenters. She is a New York, Miss New York. There we go.
She's amazing.
Nice.
She's going to be presenting on day 3
How
on
exciting.
creative uses of Flip and Genially. So make sure you see her then. Hi from Ecuador. Thank
Wow,
you.
that's exciting. I wonder what time it is everywhere. Tell us what time it is. Okay, oh, here's the chat box. Okay, I can see it now. Ecuador, wow, Belize. Oh, I want to live there.
Philippines. Hi, Carl.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Montreal. This is a really global event. I'm so excited about this.
Hi,
Hi
Amelia
from
from
North
North
Carolina.
Carolina. We have Melanie
Hi.
from Montreal. I already said that. New Hampshire, my neighbor. I live in north of Boston. Hi, Janice.
Chris from
Remember?
Massachusetts. Erica, it's for you.
There it is. Oh, wait, Chris. I wonder how far you are from me.
Hi from
Hey,
Illinois.
Lewaski from Illinois. Very
Please
nice.
keep saying hi as we get started.
Hi, Chantel from Ontario, Argentina. This is
Argentina.
so exciting. Oh
Hi
my
from ah, pull it up.
I just love it. I love this is always one of my favorite parts of doing things like this. Philippines. Wow. Hi, Carl.
Orlando, Florida. Natalie.
Pennsylvania, Miss Jan.
Brazil.
Pennsylvania.
This is
Very
awesome.
oh my gosh.
Well, as we get started, I feel like we're saying hi to everyone. They don't know who we are yet.
No, okay, I should tell them. I
Okay,
should
so
tell
our first session starts at 3:15 Pacific time, but we should cover a few important things first, like who we are. And I am so excited to be co-presenting with Miss Erica Sandstrom, the one and only.
the one.
Erica is a digital media teacher, and she's known by many as Green Screen Gal. You've probably seen her face around doing all sorts of magic. Her annual Green Screen Summit is packed with innovative learning experiences. You should go if you haven't been. And
Mhm.
Erica, you're bringing us decades of classroom experience. We were
Oh,
talking the other
full
day, and
of
Erica was telling me she's taught 3rd grade, 4th, 5th, 3rd through 8th,
through 8th
and your
grade, yeah.
awesome work on video learning and the power of a balanced mind, body, and spirit has been featured on really important like the cover of EdTech magazine. So
Yeah,
we are
that was
so lucky to have you with us, Erica.
well, thank you. That was, quite an intro. Thank you. I'm beyond grateful. I can't even express to you enough. I'm laughing because this is I'm using it as my mouse pad here because I couldn't get my mouse to work. It's perfectly slimy. But thank you for having me. And I am so grateful to be next to this wonderful soul. Eiley Olichny, I don't want to say her name wrong,
You did it.
is I did it, but I know you, is the education US country manager at Genially. And she's been dreaming of an event like this for years. And I was so grateful when she asked me to help co host this and to present. But she is working really hard behind the scenes. She's done a great job. But when she's not supporting educators at Genially, she is an incredible musician and singer. She cooks and she tells me that she tries to keep her plants alive.
Not so good
I
on
feel
that one.
I feel that.
Not so good with that, Erica.
But everybody, she is seriously an amazing soul, and I'm so grateful she's in my life, and that she is the United States country manager for all of us. So thank you for having me.
Well, that was
Miss
the
Eileen.
sweetest introduction I think I've ever had. So thanks,
That's
Erica.
true. It's true.
Um, I'm seeing people are continuing to pour in Brazil, Utah, Frisco,
Yeah,
Texas.
take me on a trip.
Hi, Christian. Thanks. Go, Eiley. Go, Christian. Hello from
Yeah,
Salinas,
Utah.
California.
Utah's a
Amazing.
been to
Yeah,
Salinas, California.
I was in Utah once when I was like 8 in the middle of a blizzard, and it was this incredibly impactful experience. I would love to go back to Utah, maybe not in a blizzard.
Maybe on a blizzard.
Hey, Donna. Thanks, Yuritsa. You're amazing.
So it's different times all over the world too. Some of you are in pajamas. Then again, when I get home from school, I go straight to that too. So here in the East Coast, I'm ET time. So it's dinner time. Wonderful. Washington, USA. Nice. Near the Cape. Oh, Chris. Nice. I love the Cape. Sorry, Eileen, go
Doesn't
ahead.
love this data. No, we're good. So
We're
over
just
the next
trying
3
to
days, we're going to be looking at some really incredible and practical ways to teach topics like social emotional learning. We're going to improve our skills as communicators, learn to gamify our activities, and keep lessons innovative and fun for students. And as I was looking through the catalog, which is amazing, by the way, of speakers that we have for these next 3 days, I was hoping to highlight just a few talks, and I was like, this is impossible. Like, the sessions are amazing. It's all magical. I couldn't be more grateful for all of the people that we have with us. So no highlights here. Everyone's a highlight for me. And
Oh,
today's
yes.
focus is Erica, our
Yeah.
expert.
Our expert. Actually, yes, the presenters, I'm huge fangirl of the people here. So super excited for this. And but today's focus is on social emotional learning and mindfulness. And it's an opportunity for us to help students to navigate the world with these useful skills. And we all know from the tough times we've had that. I know personally, I teach middle school, and the past 3 years have been nothing close to what they used to be. But what's so great about these skills is there's so many creative ways to teach kindness, compassion, creativity, teamwork, communication. But most of all, before you can even learn all this social emotional learning skills, you have to have self-awareness. And I am such a big advocate for it because I've done it in my own life. We all have. And I really believe that these skills for a classroom environment, they're obviously necessary during these times, especially self-compassion and self-care. But two ways you can truly practice it, which will a lot of these presenters will talk about, is finding your own mindfulness practice or inner peace and acts of kindness. Altruism is the best way to cheer yourself up, we tell the kids. But anyway, we're here today to find some creative ways to teach this, and you will hear a lot of wonderful things that hopefully you can take right back to the classroom immediately. So we're really glad you're here.
Absolutely. And no day on SEL would be complete without a check-in to see how we're doing. So here are just a few questions to bring us together and get us thinking. Let's put them up there. There we are.
So everybody, I want to know, how are you doing? And what are you up to right now? You in your PJs? Are you just have dinner? It's 3 a.m. Yeah,
What have
some
we
people.
got?
Yeah.
Let's see.
What is people like?
Calgary, Alberta. Hi, Karen.
Yeah, we want to know what
How
you're
are
up
you
to.
doing? How are we doing? Erica, how are you doing?
How are you really doing? Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I got a good nap today.
Yeah. No, I am currently calling in from Europe and it is midnight here. So I'm having a very different EdFest experience and it feels kind of like a slumber party. So I feel like some of those little kid vibes, like a party.
Yeah, and I'm glad you told them that because I think it's pretty great that you can do this till 3 in the morning every night. So it should
It's a
be.
gift. It's a gift.
Yes.
Okay, I'm seeing what people are putting here. We have work on report cards. Melanie, I'm
Um,
glad this is a break from that.
Jessica did an early Thanksgiving. Just finished cooking. Yum. Now I'm hungry.
Oh,
How many leftovers? Oh, let's see. Thanksgiving dinner menu, Natalie. Wow. Oh, that's right. Because
it's just around the corner.
yeah, just around the corner, but also up in Canada, they already had theirs. Excited. Dinner's cooking. Just inhaled dinner between school meetings and this event. Whoa.
Amazing. I should start prepping my Thanksgiving stuffing and whatnot. I like to do a whole big thing and invite people over, so I should get that going.
Why don't you live closer?
Tired, doing well, working on it. Come visit. All right,
Yeah,
let's see.
what's the
Let's
next?
be honest. How many tabs do you have open right now? I
Yeah,
have
don't
really
lie.
streamlined it for this, and I have 12.
I have 12 as well. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
normally I have a lot more. And I know that there's those apps that you can move them all over, but those confuse me.
What's
You're about
that?
to
I don't even know
finish
about that.
work. Nice. You're bundled up. The cold. I know the cold finally hit up here too. We had 70 last week in Boston. Now it's cold. Cold. Texas. You're south. So how many tabs do you honestly have open? 40?
I think
Jessica,
we might getting
yeah,
close
you
to
and I are soulmates.
40.
Andrew, 14. All right. See, now I feel better. It's always my students shame me for that every day.
16, Natalie, 9,
You see any
Amelia.
kind of question, they're like, "There's so many tabs open."
Our lives
Hey,
are so busy now, like, there's so much going on, I feel like it's really hard to slow down
wow.
and breathe. Stephanie, 19.
Wow, what are you guys doing?
Also, who has 3? 3 is amazing. Anne Wright, Donna Brown. I aspire to be like you.
Conscious, yeah, high
Chris has
conscious.
12 also. Cool. Alright.
And interesting. So, well, with the tab thing,
30.
hopefully we can keep your attention and you won't, because I always have a million open too, but to be here tonight. But I love this. So how are your students doing in terms of skills like self-awareness, kindness, and communication? And even what kind of differences have you seen in them? But how are they doing with those skills? I know personally I have to teach them a lot more than I used to. I feel like everybody's in their cell phones, especially in middle school, a lot less self-awareness, sadly, but that's why we're here today to help with that. Let's see.
I'm
I
wondering
think
if we're getting just like a 5 or
delay.
10-second lag. I think so, because 'cause we're still seeing tabs, and I just saw 115 tabs from Mia, which was relatable.
That made me feel better.
And here we're sharing about you, Erica. There's your Twitter. Everyone should go follow Erica Sandstrom at
Oh, thank you.
twitter.com/greenscreengal. She's awesome.
Yes, come have some fun with me.
As you answer how your students are doing, we have a follow-up question to this, which is what you do to help students express their real feelings in class. So how are they doing, and what are you doing to foster their SEL learning about themselves? Maybe go ahead and
Jessica,
answer those sort of together.
that's a great idea. Jessica had a wonderful she said, "I teach online and getting them to communicate at all is a challenge." And Jess, that's why I'm excited, for you to see a lot of these sessions because you'll have a lot of ideas to leave with. And not everybody expresses the same way, like love languages and things. So there's lots of creative ways to get them to open up. And it's definitely not always talking, that's for sure. It comes out in other ways. Let's see. Perfecting
Natalie
the
says engaging work is most difficult. Most of my students are dealing with extreme anxiety.
Yeah, and they don't it's interesting. I think we all are too. I mean, we just went through
Yep,
something
we
very
talked about
traumatic.
this, Erica. Yeah.
What's that?
I'm saying you and I were just talking about this the other
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, and it's, I know my anxiety levels have been completely, different these past 3 years, and, but it's just being aware of it, and it's okay, just being able just the first part of the battle is just knowing, so you can do something about it. Um, my entire first month was nothing but this. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I wanna know now. Uh Engagement is difficult. Most of my students are dealing with extreme anxiety. Yeah, you read that one. There's reminders of being more self-aware and how to communicate.
Some
Some
are
are doing
doing
great.
great.
Yay. Yeah, and you always have those that are, but I hope to have more. I give my students different ways to communicate with me. Chat and lessons, that's great. Private
Cool.
messages, text messages, that's great because that's how they communicate. So
And Andrew
morning,
talks about trying to have conversations with students that are not directly related to lessons. Yeah, that's important.
I like that. Morning
I still
check-ins.
remember the teachers that did that for me.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
socialization.
we are 1 minute away from an incredible session. And we have one final question before we get there, which was, when was the last time you did a deep breathing exercise, if ever? Think about this. This is important for the times we're living in and for all of this anxiety I think we're dealing with, students are dealing with. And
And I
Erica, you
want
want to tell us who's up next?
Yes. So in, just a few minutes, we're gonna have Kathy Kursnowski and Seth Fuel. They are so wonderful. So to join in their session, they're kind of like a genially sorry, care
I
package
love
for
it.
social learning. They really are care packages, and they always leave me with project ideas that I can take right away, and that's exactly what you're going to get from them today. Um, yes, we're very excited to have Kathy and Seth here, so thank you.
And we
Yay!
very, very quickly have one surprise, which is that we're going to be running a prize draw. Erica, could you
Yeah,
explain that for us real fast before we
absolutely.
jump right in?
Sure. We're going to share. So what we would like you to do is to use the hashtag Genially EdFest and share takeaways and screenshots of the session on all social media, and tag the presenter so you can enter for a prize to win an EDU Pro plan of Genially. Also, if you make something that you learned in one of the sessions, put it up there. We'd love to see it. So good luck.
Absolutely. And one more really good piece of news is that we have participation certificates available for 8 hours, which we'll be sending out after EdFest. You'll be able to download your own, and there will also be a link in the chat for that throughout EdFest in different moments. And without further ado, here come Kathy and Seth. Come in here with us. Hello.
Howdy, everyone.
How are you doing?
So good to see you.
So good to have you with us. Well, go ahead and take over. We leave this in your hands. I'm so excited for this session.
All right. Let the trouble begin, right?
Thanks for the nice intro, you guys, and it's so good to see you.
We love you. We love you. All right, take it away.
Have fun.
Okay. Thank you. We are super excited to be here with you today or this evening or wherever you are. Happy time zone, as we say. So today, Kathy and I are going to be presenting to you a Genially care package. And we have a little bit to go with that. So let's see. Can y'all share our screen? I've got it shared with you. Let's see what happens here. There we go. Yay. Awesome. Okay. So we've got a little Genially care package for you today. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to step you through some of our resources that we have. So first, we'll tell you a little bit about ourselves. We know that not everybody knows us, but we're going to go through some calming activities, some attention to breath activities, reflecting on self and empathy for others. And so, Kathy, you want to go first? Introduce yourself.
Sure. Hey, everybody. My name is Kathy Krasnowski. I'm coming to you from Southern New Jersey on the East Coast of America, and I'm really excited to be here talking about SEL. It's become part of our vocabulary, SEL. More than 5 years ago, I didn't even know that term, but social emotional learning, something we used to take for granted maybe, and we were doing it anyway as teachers, but now it's something that's more expected or at least more planned, and we're all scrounging for resources on that, things to help students with all these different things. So today we did, like Seth said, we came up with that acronym CARE, C-A-R-E, where each of those stands for what we feel is a really important element of social emotional learning. We tried to package that up for you, so you will all have the link to this. So any resources that we share, you'll be able to take away at the end, and they have to do with those 4 letters, C, A, R, and E. So yeah, you're getting a care package. A little about me. Well, you know what? We made this in Genially. So my whole bio is in that button that Seth just clicked on. I'm not going to read it to you because it's there for you to read, but I describe myself as an ed tech enthusiast and energizer. That's my jam. I love getting people excited about all the things that they can do with ed tech. I love co-presenting with my partner, Seth Fuel. We have presented many times all over the globe, and we're kind of best known for app smashing and just sort of keeping our finger on the pulse of ed tech and what's out there and what's available. And so to couple that with SEL, social emotional learning, is really important and special to us. And we hope we have valuable things for you to take away tonight.
Absolutely. It is such a pleasure to be here with you, and I love presenting with Kathy. She and I just we get each other. It's amazing when we get to work together. And so yeah, you might have seen us on a couple of other presentations together, mostly with app smashing, it seems, but other things as well. I describe myself as a teacher advocate, a change maker, and a learn-it-all. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm a learn-it-all. If there is anything out there that I can learn something about, I am ready to soak it up. And that is kind of how I got started into the little world of SEL. And I am not going to claim that either Kathy or I are any kind of experts in this field. There are true experts out there, and even better, there are folks that are doing this every single day with their classrooms, and that's what we want to get out to you. We want you to be able to have some resources to empower you to take some of the resources that we've got, or some of the ideas that we share, some of the ideas that you'll learn from Erica and Genially later today, and just take them, put them in your classroom, put them into use, so that everyone can really it can really grow. And so yeah, you can read my bio, and when we share the link, or if Genially wants to share it now, they can share it anytime. We also have it on our last page of Genially here, but we are happy to connect with you. We share all sorts of information, and we are so looking forward to everything that we've got here tonight for you. All right, I think, are we ready to kick it off?
Well,
Let's
I think,
go.
you know what? We're supposed to post it to social media for a chance to win a prize. I think that's a really cool screenshot right there, because it shows the CARE and what each one stands for. So there's a screenshot opportunity if you were looking for
We'll
it.
give you a smile and a thumbs up too.
And then we'll hop right into it. It was so much fun to collaborate on creating this Genially with Seth, because, collaborating on a Genially is one of our favorite things to do. So it was fun. It's interactive, it's got movement. It's all the things that a Genially empowers us to do and just is all about. So we hope you enjoy not just the presentation and the tools we share with you, but the Genially itself, because it's just really an awesome tool for designing and presenting.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump into calming activities here in just a second, but I wanted to start off by saying the SEL activities, social emotional learning activities, can really help your students and even adults with their social awareness, like relationship skills, responsible decision-making, self-management, self-awareness even. SEL skills are the soft skills that we always hear about, right? They're the things that we want to see in everyday life, in everyday functioning. We all need to both understand and pay attention to our own emotions, our thoughts, and our values, and learning to do so early on in your life, whether you teach elementary school, preschool, middle school, high school, wherever you teach, whatever you do, or even if you have kids of your own. Learning these skills early on will help those kids adjust as they encounter the new and never before seen challenges that are happening in our daily lives in the 21st century here. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about is calming activities. And calming activities can really help you gain that control of yourself, or even gain control of a difficult situation, and provide for you a better focus and a clearer vision of whatever it is that you're seeking. So I kind of broke this one down into 4 little areas. I've got my little Zen person there. It's not, this is not about any kind of special things that you have to do. These should be things that are incorporated into your daily life. So visualizing. And again, I saw in the chat that Christina has shared our Genially with you. So click on these links. Click on the videos later. We're not going to share the videos in this, but here's some activities. This one on the eyes is a guided visualization to calm your mind. It helps you see, it helps you focus what you need to see. And then also I wanted to point out this one. We love, Kathy and I both, we love the Tech Care twins, Amy and Diane. They are absolutely fantastic. I'm sure that you follow them on social media, and if you don't, get to it. But the the digital calming rooms that they came up with are just this really cool tool. And so Amy, or Tech Amy S, that's also her Twitter handle. They put a wakelet together about digital calming rooms, and that's Diane there. And they've got a bunch of different tools that you can go through, and some wakelet templates there that we wanted to share with you. So this is a fantastic resource to go through, and it's kind of using technology, whatever tools you want, to create some really calming spaces for your students, whether it's online or in person. The book that we've got here, I wanted to just share, like, reading a book is a great way to calm yourself. I love reading. I know Kathy loves reading. And amplifying that with novel effect is an awesome way to like just energize the books that you're reading. The one that I picked here, the Yeti, focuses on our senses. This is by Slumberkins, which is also a very interesting little service. They have little plushies, plush characters that go along with the books. And this particular one is just a lesson in mindfulness that the Yeti goes through, finding some practices to slow down. Another one of my favorites, and I'm just going to highlight one of these here, is art. Art is a great way, whether you consider yourself a creative person or not, art is a great way to focus yourself. I cannot draw to save my life. My stick figures look funny. I always say that. But with some of these, like, you've got online coloring pages, you've got an online whiteboard, so you can just draw to your heart's content there. I love this one because there's no drawing needed. I just click in here and it says draw something, and so I can choose my colors. Let's say maybe I want purple, and I'll just draw a little thing like that, add in some blue, make it look kind of cool, change my colors around and draw. It's super calming. And when I'm ready to start over, I just click new and start over again. I think that's a really awesome resource. And then those of y'all that know me, you know that for my life has been in music. And music has this incredible power. Like, I still get chills every time I think about how music impacts me. I can listen to a song and just feel it with my entire soul. So, and I love this quote. There's a TED Talk linked here as well. Music boosts dopamine, lowers your cortisol, and makes you feel great. Your brain is better on music. So some of the tools that I used to use in my music classroom, Carlos Nakai, he is a Native American flute player. And we would use those songs in my music class to just relax and center and, like, ground ourselves, basically. When you need to focus, I picked one of my favorites, Samuel Barber's Adagio for Strings. Whew, man, that song just, it calls to me. And then I picked another calming song, O Magnum Mysterium by Morton Lauridsen. That's a great vocal piece. It's performed by a choir. It is so cool. It is just so cool. And then Chillax. I wanted to point out an awesome tool called Go Noodle, because Go Noodle is a great resource, whether you have the free account or the paid account. It is a great resource for all sorts of learning. You can have indoor recess. You can have all sorts of things. But I liked this one. It's called Chillax to the Max, because we all just need to chillax a little bit, right? And then just sort of a fun one. Kids can have fun with this. Adults like myself can have fun with this as well. Blob Opera is made by Google, and in their arts and culture section. And you can make these characters sing, and you can even record it and share it. It's a pretty cool little tool. But that's what we've got for some calming activities. And so now, the drawing abstract site was Weave Silk. But again, it's all linked for you in the Genially that we have shared. So, Kathy, that's enough talking for me. I will turn it over to you for attention to breath.
I got so excited. Wait, go back to your calming one for just a second, because I get so excited.
Okay.
He's sharing so many good things. And I know, like, if you're like me, everybody who's watching, you've got neurons firing and you're making connections to things that you do and things like that. So when he was showing, that cool drawing site that made what was it called again, Seth? You just said it.
Weave Silk.
Weave Silk.
So like you're weaving a web with silk. Yeah.
It reminded me of old school spirograph. And
That's what
I
it
am
reminded me
old.
of.
I'm old school. I'm literally old. And when I was a kid, I would use Spirograph and just sit and zone out and make those really cool, loopy drawings with different colored pens. It's kind of like that. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with going no tech, low tech or no tech, and bringing out some of those oldies but goodies, an Etch a Sketch for calming or a Spirograph for calming. Oh my gosh, just super relaxing. You've seen so many of those coloring books that are out now with colored pencils, and you can do all the mosaics and the really small drawings, or those giant posters that hang on walls that kids can kind of lay on the floor or hang on a wall and collaborate on. So some of the low tech, no tech things, this reminded me of definitely. And
For sure.
Seth, when you were sharing all your music and things like that, I'm one of those people, and I just thought I'd bring this up. I'm one of those people who can't concentrate as well with music. Sometimes I'll put on Zen music, I'll type in spa music and see what comes up, and I'll play that for a class if we're working quietly. But if I need to really concentrate and get some done, I'll pop in some earbuds and I literally search white noise. And there's all kinds of soundtracks of white noise that will just sort of hiss in your ear, tune everything else out. And that's another really thing that I use to self-regulate, to calm myself, and that you could totally turn students onto if they're that kind of learner. So giving lots of choices in the way that students access things.
And since you mentioned it, I'm just going to throw in another one that's not in our Genially. I like Coffetivity. Coffivity, I think, or maybe I spelled it wrong. I don't know. Coffetivity. It plays coffee shop noises because I love my coffee, and that is a great way for me to focus. Yeah. All right. You ready?
Yeah, I'm going to move on to A, which is attention to breath. It's a big one that we use. I work predominantly in elementary schools. I love that this can be used at any age, any grade. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you some examples when we get in here of ones that I use myself pretty frequently. So here's a great website that we're sharing with you. All of our attention to breath is coming from one website, which we did credit on this slide. So you'll see who they're coming from. And they have this, you have the link. So as you scroll down, Seth, let's just go down a little bit. Yep. A little bit more. All right. Each one of these is a slide that shows a breathing technique that goes along with a visual. The very top one was a square. And that's it's the simplest of the simple, but it's a great one to start with littles, or you know what, if you've got some students who are just starting to begin, even if they're older, it's literally, doing the inhale across the square as you trace it, and then exhale as you go down, and inhale, and then exhale. And down at the very bottom of this whole slideshow, there's actually a printable that you can print out and give to the students so they can literally trace it with their fingers as they're practicing the breathing technique of just, slow inhales and exhales, which is pretty powerful. But if you come down, I'm going to tell you a couple stories about a couple more. My favorite one, come down just a little bit more. Thank you so much for scrolling for me. That one right there. So breathe upon a star. We just called the 5-finger one. And this is one that I use for myself. Does anybody on here use a breathing technique for themselves to calm down, to help you fall asleep at night? Now I'm looking at the chat. I use several of these to help me fall asleep, and this is one that I do. And when I first started learning it, I used an actual piece of paper or my hand, and you would breathe in as you traced up a finger, and then breathe out as you came down that finger, going as slowly as you want. You know what you've always got with you? Your hand. So you can use this no matter where you are. If you need to calm yourself, yes, I use 4-7-8 technique too. Yes, Erica, I use that too. So going up and down with the fingers, this is super easy for kids to have and do. And remember, again, further down this slideshow, there's literally a printable of a hand that you could give students, and they could use the trace the pattern of the hand, or they could use their own hand. This is one that I frequently use myself when I'm having trouble falling asleep at night. Let's come down. I just want to talk about maybe one or two more of these. No, down below that one, birthday candles. Okay, the bumblebee breath. Look at this one. It's super, super cute. So you're going to kind of inhale. You can even try it with me if you like. You take a deep breath in through the nose, and when you exhale, you kind of hum like a bee. And the first time you'll do this, especially if you're working with even middle school kids or older kids, when they hum on the exhale, everybody kind of giggles. But if you look what it says there at the top, it says, cup your palms around your ears to amplify that sound of that hum. And it really has, I know some of you are trying it at home right now, it really has a neat effect on just calming. You're listening to yourself. You're listening to the echo of your own hum. And it's a different one. And that's one that I like to use too. And I think if you scroll down just a little bit further, nope, keep coming. These are all great. I just can't talk about all of them. All right. There's one where you kind of inhale and exhale with positive affirmations. And I know a lot of teachers are using those to build confidence and reassurance with students these days. So you can breathe in, I am strong, I am smart, all the things that kids kind of need to tell themselves. And you can have students develop those affirmations for themselves. And lastly, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see some of the printables that go along with those that I had been mentioning that are really great, especially if you're starting. You can use your finger to trace along those lines and to practice the inhales and exhales and the mindful breathing to calm a class or to calm yourself. So hopefully you find some of those awesome, because I sure do.
Yeah, I think there's some really fantastic resources in there. And for me, speaking as a vocalist, like, we're taught to breathe, but most people are not, and so I learned when I was in college really how to breathe to control my voice, but how much that affected me in my regular life, like everyday life, is incredible, because now I just breathe in and relax, and I can really focus on that breath and focus on whatever it is that I need to be focusing on. Really helps just reset, no matter what the situation is, even if it's a little bit stressful.
And I see Erica threw in their glitter jars. Glitter jars are super cool too. There's lots of directions online where you can make your own, but use an old water bottle or something like that. Fill it with glitter, a little bit of cornstarch water. There's different recipes and things like that, so that when you turn it upside down, the glitter gently falls. And so students can make their own and use those for calming things too. It's really, a lot of teachers in the elementary schools I know use that Go Noodle that you mentioned before for what we call brain breaks. Is everybody calling them brain breaks? And there's a lot of get up and move and energize. And yeah, our brains need that too. But just so that in case you've never explored them, sites like Go Noodle, and there are others, have kind of the opposite things. They're really calming Zen activities that are very quieting. And those are available in Go Noodle and some of the other sites too. Good to know that those are there too, because our kids do need those breaks at all levels.
Well, and also, since you just mentioned the quieting activities, there's also some brain breaks in like Go Noodle, and I'm not trying to like push Go Noodle or anything, but there's some brain breaks in there that actually help you get the energy up and going, get your blood pumping, so that maybe that's what we need. Maybe that's the kind of room that we need to generate for the moment. So these like, use music, use video, use whatever you have available to you to help you create the environment that is going to be beneficial to your learners.
Awesome.
All right, cool. So we'll just jump right into the R of our care package, reflecting on self. And this is something that I kind of struggle with. I like to say, we're all kind of our own worst critic, and I find that I can be pretty critical of myself. But when I take the time to really think about what's going on in the world, in my life, in the moment, just a little bit of reflection can help me to change my mindset. It helps me focus on where I am and maybe what I can do to make it a little bit better for me. So I've got a couple of resources here, and if you were on it, let's see if I can go back. If that goes back, no, it doesn't go to it. If you're on this, it doesn't say anything, but you can always turn on the interactivity. But you just click on the picture and you go to the other resources that are there. They're kind of hidden. So this one is something that is it is an app. It's on iOS and Android, but it's called Mood Meter, and basically it allows you to like tell where you are. You use color, and color and degrees of intensity to say where you are, and then of course, like it says, describe why. So I think that's a really cool thing. And if you are a Microsoft Teams user in your classroom, you actually have something very similar built into your class. In Microsoft Teams, you have this tool called Reflect. Hit me up on Twitter if you need instructions on it, or just click on the little page there and it'll tell you how to get started with Reflect in Teams. But Reflect is this incredibly powerful tool that allows you to do quick SEL check-ins with your entire class all at once, and their responses are private to you as the teacher. So you can do a little check-in and see, hey, I've got 15 feeling happy, one feeling reserved, one feeling nervous, and one feeling hurt. Is the hurt one okay? Maybe we need to check that out. You can see it, but the other students cannot. So these are some really cool tools built into Microsoft Teams if you do that.
I just got to piggyback on that one, Seth, because
go for it.
They're called the reflections. They're called the monsters, right? The reflections.
The feelings monsters, yes.
And they're the cutest monsters. And each one has a really unique expression. And the people who've designed these have spent a lot of time copying the exact facial expression that would mimic that word. So for little kids, they may not realize that what they're feeling is confused. But when they recognize the expression on the face of the feelings monster, where it's got that quizzical look on its face, the kids can point and say, that's how I'm feeling. So it really, they may not know the vocab word. They may not know how to identify their exact feeling with the proper word, but those visual cues, and there's so many different faces and so many different words. It's not just happy, sad, tired, or angry. They have many, many, many different emotions and complex emotions, and as kids age and they start to learn that and they can self-analyze their mood, they really get better and better at it. And then they're able to once you can self-analyze, then your next step is to self-regulate, right? And to make things better. So yeah, powerful tool.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. It is a fantastic tool. It's also, the one in Teams is also available in staff Teams as well now, or maybe that's coming soon. I'm not really sure. I think it's available now in general availability, but just check on people. One thing that I like to do when I present staff development, professional development, I like to check, how's everybody feeling today? Because if Seth is sitting over here with a bad headache, guess what? He's not learning. If Kathy is over there and she is way wired on caffeine, guess what? She's probably not learning, right? If we find out where we are, we can do something about it. But if we just ignore it and pretend that everybody's the same, it doesn't work. Just moving on to the next one. This is self-care. I really liked this video. I'm going to come back to that graphic here in just a second. But this teacher, Miss Kelly, I think she's a middle school counselor, and she did a fantastic little Loom video on self-care. And she used this graphic, which was done by at Laura Heartlines on Instagram, not Twitter. And it talks about the differences that self-care can be. Self-care can be asking for help or just going at it alone. Self-care can be putting yourself first, or maybe setting boundaries, staying at home, saying no, forgiving yourself, etc. Self-care is all of these things, and we need to recognize that both as kids and adults, because that is a major thing to overcome. I know my generation, we were told, just kind of keep it to yourself. We don't need to share all of this. Well, maybe you don't need to share, but you need to take care of yourself. And we as teachers, we need to take care of each other, because this is some hard times right now, right? But we will get through this. We will do an awesome job. The last little resource I had on this page is some SEL reflection prompts. So as you stand in the mirror, notice, anytime, notice when your stress begins to build. Delete those negative messages, and use some of these positive messages to re-engage your mind. Like maybe describe something you like to do for fun, or tell yourself how awesome you are. Even just look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and say, Seth, you got this. You can do this. It's these kinds of things that really help out with your mindset. And then some of these other reflection prompts, they can just help you springboard that into your classroom. Yeah, I love the idea of a mood check Monday. Yeah, that is a fantastic thing to do. And these are some awesome prompts to get you going. Just for time's sake, I'm going to jump back to it, and we'll head it over to Kathy on empathy.
Oh, empathy is one of my favorite things. Yeah, I'd love to talk about that for a little while. So empathy, it's a vocab word. It's a word that we need to kind of work with and teach to students. I think they get a little bit about thinking of themselves. That's sort of an instinctive thing, but it's the thinking about others piece, and doing some simulations and activities that get them to realize and appreciate the feelings of others around them. And so there's a lot. I couldn't help myself on this slide. I went with big bubbles all over the place. And so I've got a bunch of different things to share with you. You know what? Let's start top left corner. And Seth's my clicker honor guy. So this is just it's a care package, right? We wanted to give you some resources that maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't before. Seth, if you make that bottom box go away, this is a really neat site. It's just called Dollar Street. And it's linked if you get this and click on that. But if you see at the top, there's a slider that has little pictures of houses and things on there. And there's just all sorts of comparisons that you can do with different people around the world. It's a really cool resource, getting to look at people who live in other countries, not only what their homes look like, but what their families look like, what their beds look like. And you can you move that slider to the poorest countries, or to countries that are sort of median income. They can compare similar and different, or to higher income. So they can take a look and start to learn what life is like for other people around the world or the country. Seth, real quick, if you see at the top where it says top left, there's two choices. Sorry, I need my glasses. Where it says families. If you click there, you'll see it's not just families you can compare, but it could be beds, floors, hotels, homes. So any of those, students could take a look at what that's like in other places, how they're similar and different to people all around the world, or not just the world. If you see the world is also a drop-down option up at the very top. Yep. And so you can compare it to, you see, lots of places like that, just to get that conversation going, to have some empathy, not sympathy, for what life is like in other places. I just think that's a really cool way to start a discussion about empathy. So I wanted to share that tool with you if you hadn't heard of it before. Next one down is Flip. So formerly known as Flipgrid, they're part of Microsoft. So Flip is a tool that both Seth and I love. I've been with them for for forever. And Flip is a tool where students respond to prompts via video, right? So it is about sharing their feelings, and those videos that the students make are based on any prompt that you assign to them. So if you're assigning I love assigning for this, for SEL, things like, what would you do? Maybe you read or tell or show a little bit of a story. Somebody got bullied. Somebody had their lunch money stolen. Somebody came to school and had two different shoes on. Are you going to make fun of them or not? So having students sort of reflect and express and practice that empathy and be able to see the reactions of other students in their class where you're building community. Flip is a really great tool for students to do that because, like I said, it's video based. So they're responding with their voice, with their facial emotions, and there's just a lot to that, capturing student voice. So that's another tool.
I was just going to add, it's available on all platforms. So it's what we call device agnostic. It doesn't matter what device you're using, you can use Flip. And so, whatever tools you have, you can use Flip to capture that learning.
And you can use Flip in conjunction with some of these other tools. You could do Dollar Street and show them and then say, hey, I want you to react to what you just saw. I mean, how would you compare the beds in this country with that country, or, those, and have students react to it. So Flip is just, sort of a universal capture student voice, and you would designate what the prompt is on that. All right, I'm moving over to the next one, which is kind of a rainbow wheel. And many of you probably know that rainbow wheel is the icon for the Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs, right? The 17 global goals. Oops, that's okay. You don't have to click on it. We'll go back.
Oh, it's okay. It's just the
I tried to link out. Yeah, HTTPS. teachsdgs.org is my favorite site for teaching that, but there are many sites for teaching SDGs. That is my favorite one. It shows all the icons, and it has pretty much all the resources I need all on that one site. So it's super well developed. You can see that I created, if you kind of X out of that one, Seth, I created a little poster there, just kind of the methodology I use when I teach students empathy through the SDGs. So when you're learning about other places in the world and you're trying to solve global problems, there's my little acronym there: pair up with a partner, share the things you're learning, become aware of global issues, start to care about global issues, and then dare to make a difference in the world. So that was just a poster that I had made at one point. And yeah, that's seriously developing empathy all over the place. Speaking of that, I'm going to come down to that sort of lime greenish yellow circle right there. If you haven't heard of Empatico, one of my favorites, I've been affiliated with them for a long time too. Empatico is a sub-company of the Kind Foundation. You know those Kind bars? Have you ever had those, like a granola bar kind of a thing? So Empatico is owned by Kind, and it's a website that intentionally connects students from one class with another class. The platform is predominantly geared toward elementary and middle school students. There are all kinds of activities on the website that, first of all, you connect with teachers. I currently, in my Empatico account, I think I have 3 or 4 people from around the world waiting to hear from me about, can I connect with your class? I've got somebody from Ghana. I've got somebody from
awesome.
Istanbul. Like, yes, there are teachers from all over the world looking to connect their classroom with yours so that you can have interactions. And there are all kinds of suggested activities on their site. You want to do empathy, connect with another class around the world. Or like I used to say, I live in suburban New Jersey. For us, connecting with an inner city school, even in America somewhere, maybe that's mostly Latino or something, that's a really great cultural exchange for us. And there's lots of beautiful things that happen when you discuss similarities and differences. So I just really love Empatico and the things that they're doing. And so if you haven't checked it out, definitely check out Empatico. Hey, I see the one on the top is one that Seth already mentioned before, but it's called Novel Effect. And yes,
it's worth mentioning again.
Because reading books with students is such a great way to model empathy and actually reflecting on self too, right? There's so many things that we can get through there. I happen to have this handy because it's a book that I read today to a class of first graders, and it's called The Scarecrow. If you haven't ever read it, it's beautiful. It's beautifully illustrated. It's super dynamic. But when you read this with the Novel Effect app, that's an app that listens to you as you read from your phone or your iPad, and it plays these soundscapes that accompany the text as you're reading. So it's voice activated. It waits for you to say certain words and things happen. So the music plays, and this one is particularly sentimental, instrumental, really builds emotion. The kids, when they get done, say, I felt like crying, but crying in a good way. Like the music from Novel Effect really takes books to the next level and helps honestly make them magical in some way. There's a lot of emotionality that happens when that music and those things happen as you're reading. A couple other ones, for teaching empathy these are just some Jory John books that I had laying around, right? The Good Egg and The Cool Bean. These are lessons in empathy. What's it like to be a good egg? What is somebody like who's not a good egg? And how can we help them become a good egg? So these all facilitate great conversations. And again, made a little bit better with the magic of Novel Effect, because it's adding those sound effects. It's keeping students engaged. It's really remarkable. Here's another one that I did recently, Wemberly Worried. And it's about, what about students who have that anxiety and they're super worried, or a student who knows another student who's like that? How can they help calm them? So lots of great lessons. And this one I just happen to have, so I pulled it out today too. Beautiful book called The Magical Yet. And when I read this with Novel Effect, the sounds and the oh my gosh, the crescendos and the building, it's all about all the things that you can't do yet. And understanding that there are some people around you who maybe can do things that you can't, but someday they will, because they're just not there yet. And so this is great for awareness of self, but also for empathy. It is profound with the Novel Effect app. I mean, just if you haven't heard of it, you've really got to try that. I was going to do a demo, but my mind is on time and I realized that I'm going to run out of it. So the last one I wanted to talk about on here is that purple circle with the Genially logo in it, because guys, all of these things that we're talking about, once you connect with another class, connect with another student, why not get the kids together to collaborate on a Genially that shows what they learned about self-regulation, that shows how they know how to identify their own feeling, that shows where they collaborate on their favorite breathing techniques, or do some research on ways that they can be better at empathetic and things like that. Collaborating on a Genially is a way to bring it full circle. You can teach it, you can have kids practice it, but then you give them the honor, the joy of doing a Genially with a partner or alone, and then they get to show what they know, and they get to really feel confident in knowing that their SEL skills are growing, and they can design something beautiful to be shared with others. And there's just nothing better than that, right?
Right. That is awesome. I absolutely love it. Yeah, and collaborating on a Genially is so easy. Even Kathy and I can do it. It's super, super easy, super simple to set up. It's just a couple of clicks, and it can really, like, fostering those connections with another culture. That is amazing, whether it's another classroom culture, or just the classroom down the hall. It's an amazing tool to use. So that is all that we've got for you in our session today, and we wanted to just really say thank you for joining us tonight. Enjoy the rest of Genially EdFest. We've got our link for you there. That is good, Genially Care, and I know they've posted it in the chat several times here. We want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for joining our session. Thank you for taking the initiative on SEL and bringing it to your students so that we can all learn to be, those better, clearer thinkers, and those, more reflective of ourselves. And that way we can all become better humans. We want to always be better and always keep growing. Kathy, anything you want to add before we?
I just wanted to say thank you so much too. We tried to put together what we thought was a care package. We hope you're thinking of it that way in the end, that yep, you've got this little bundled up, beautiful Genially of resources, maybe some that are new to you that you can take away to keep you thinking and inspiring. I could tell before we even started this, the conversation, the questions that Erica was asking about, what do you do? How do you recognize the answers that you all were sharing? You are fantastic teachers. You're here because you care. And the fact that you're already interested in using SEL in your classrooms, just you're the best of the best. And thank you for joining us. Thanks to Ailey, and thanks to Erica for leading us into this session. We appreciate all of you. Happy EdFest.
Hey, friends. Thanks so much. That was amazing.
Thank you, guys. Awesome. That was awesome. It was so awesome.
Bye.
I love that stuff. It was
I
perfect.
have bookmarked this for myself starting now, and there are so many ideas I'm going to be using.
So many. I couldn't. I'm so glad I can watch it again because I couldn't keep up. So just to remind you about posting, please know that we're going to be picking 2 winners a day, and we'll pick the 2 after the last session today. But keep posting through the night and whenever, because those will count for your chance tomorrow to win as well. And don't forget the hashtag. If it doesn't have the hashtag, we won't be able to find it. So hashtag Genially EdFest. Yeah. Okay. So Eiley, I will go as fast as I can, but it's it's kind of counterintuitive when you're going fast with this kind of stuff, but that's okay. I'm known for it. So let me put that up for you. I just clicked. Oh, wait. Sorry. Share screen. Right. There you go. That's something I have to do. Okay. Well, that actually leads me into something that I wanted to share with you all, because it's something that I do in my life, but also just my friends and I, and it's more for you adults. They mentioned a lot of the breathing techniques that we use, and my students make videos on them and everything, but Let's talk about ourselves a little bit here. We're the ones who really need to breathe and to check in with ourselves, because teachers just give. And we have a million emotions coming at us all day long. So, you've been hearing about teacher self-care and things, but I'm going to give you guys a couple fun little ways you can do this in your everyday life. Really fun ways. So I always love this quote, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf. Because every day you wake up, there will be waves. You can either ride those waves up and down, or you can learn to surf. So let me teach you some fun ways to surf. Sorry if I'm going too fast, but this is fun. So our bodies are either in flight or freeze, or we're in rest or repair. So hopefully we can bring ourselves more to rest and repair. So let me talk about some ways to balance your mind. They brought up so many cool things, and some of them are actually in here. But, breathing is deep conscious breathing is different than actual just breathing, because we breathe obviously automatically. And it's so good for your physical, mental, and emotional health, but it is the best tool you have. And this is something I made to.
Oh my gosh, Erica, I am way too busy. Too busy.
This is what people tell me.
Erica, I'm already breathing.
So anyway, I bring that up because people tell me that all the time. I'm already breathing, Erica, but deep conscious breathing. So Eileen, if you want me to do this later, we can do that if you want to start the session, but we can come back.
Well, I'm looking at the time. Why don't we come back to this after our next session? Because I know what's coming and I'm really excited. We're going to have this today for sure. But I want to make sure we get through your session, which is amazing.
No problem. Well, so speaking of my session, you will be learning about cultivating compassion through creativity, which I hope that you walk away with a lot of ideas on how to bring this into your classroom using creative media and, bring in some mindfulness. So take it away, me.
Here we go.
Well, hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Erica Sandstrom, known as Green Screen Gal, more so. And I am so honored and grateful to be here, not only to present today for you, but also as your fearless co-host with Ms. Eileen. So let's jump into it. Mine is called Cultivate Compassion Through Creativity. As I said, it's called Cultivate Compassion Through Creativity. And it's a journey to mindfulness, but also creativity. So have you found a curiosity on how to use video lessons, green screen in your own school, your own lessons, and especially ways to teach social emotional learning and mindfulness in your classrooms and school as well? Hopefully I can bring you some ideas today of some things you can do in Genially and even beyond. So today, this is the website and the QR code for the slideshow. So please take a second to grab that or stick with me. I'm loving this template from Genially. It's very zen. Thank you, Eileen, for sharing this with me. I love it. And I have the music to go with it, but so when you're watching it on your own, you can choose to play the meditation music. Our journey today, I am going to leave you with some ideas, right, in Genially, and a couple demos, but also extra inspiration, and also how this all came together. Why mindfulness with green screen and video or social emotional learning. Let me tell you, it has been a game changer for my classroom, in my school, and for my students, especially during these tough times. So this page, you'll see the purple home button on all the other pages, which will bring you back to this page at any time. And these are all linked to the different areas of the slideshow. So nice and simple. In the bottom right, you'll also see the website for the slideshow as well for each section. So who am I? Well, I'm known as Green Screen Gal. I was dubbed that by a digital learning coach years ago because I got a little too obsessed with this thing behind me. So much so that I ended up on the cover of EdTech magazine as I was creating some personalized breathing bubbles. It's called #MyBreathingBubble on the show Teachers on Fire. And Tayoshi Rowe, who is an editor, she saw that, and she saw that I was using the green screen for all this SEL. So she reached out to me, and I was surprised to be on the cover. I was wondering why it was a 6-hour photo shoot, but it was it was super fun, and I got to be my silly self. And then this other article here that's worth checking out is called Cultivate Compassion Through Creativity as well. And it has a bunch of ideas beyond the ones you're going to learn today of things you can do. It's not just green screen either, it's lots of things. A better way to introduce myself is to let myself introduce myself through an app called the app. Every time I say it, my mouth tickles. They wanted to come up with a name for their app that people could say while they're eating. True story. These people are a riot. But this is a wonderful way to throw yourself into your presentations. I'll be using it a little bit later in the presentation to show you where you can actually be part of it. But there's so many fun creative things you can do. And it's fun to use Genially's templates and so on inside the app. So let me show you who I am. Hello, humans. My name is Erica Sandstrom, better known as Green Screen Gal. I am so excited to meet you all and to play in the app. I feel like I have met my true soulmates from my mothership. No pun intended. I think I need to blink more. I look a little nuts in that video. It's so funny. But it shows you how creative you can be using that app, the green screen, and all the fun things you can do. Now, my story for being here today, it's kind of a long story, so I'm going to chop it up a little bit for you. But I've been a yoga instructor. I always thought I was mindful. I always did. And come to find out, I wasn't practicing mindfulness in the right ways. And I was bumped on a flight with this incredible man and this student from Harvard. Like I said, I was a yoga instructor, but I got bumped with these two gentlemen. And the one in the middle is a very famous doctor, Dr. Blaise Aguirre, who's known worldwide for being a mindfulness expert. And it was really interesting because we all had seats and stuff and we still got bumped. So it was so meant to be. So we spent the day doing lots of things, including me with a suitcase, as you can see, that wouldn't get anywhere fast. I had too much stuff packed, shocker. And it was just one of those missing flights, running for flights. But because my bag stopped us, we actually got paused, which made us actually make a different flight we wouldn't have made if we had gotten on the other. It was just like a bunch of errors that the more mindful we were, the better it was. And Dr. Blaise stayed calm the whole time. And it was so interesting. I was like, why is this man so positive? I actually took out my mindfulness app with Deepak and Oprah, and I'm like, I really need to meditate right now because I wasn't handling all the craziness as much as he was. And he says, is that Oprah on your phone? I'm like, yes, it is. And I'm like, let me guess, you know Oprah Winfrey. And he does. He knows Oprah Winfrey, he knows Deepak Chopra, and literally has worked with both of them in lots of ways. Throughout the day, we had a lot of tests that helped us to be more mindful. And he was just so positive. And I was like, I even said to him, I said, you're so positive. You remind me of the Dog Whisperer, which is so weird because I had never even watched that show before. He's like, did you just mention the Dog Whisperer? And come to find out,
you only have one moment where you can live your life deeply. That is the present moment.
The other day, somebody asked me on Twitter, how do I find the right person? And, I just tweeted back. I said, instead of finding the right person, become the right person.
You drink the tea and you are aware that you are drinking the tea. That is mindfulness of drinking.
I actually think that mindfulness should be the centerpiece of psychiatric treatment.
It's a new evolution of the human species.
My clients are Harvard graduates, but they can't work at Chihuahua.
They're afraid of things that do not exist.
If one has a spiritual radiance about him, you sense it. You sense it in the eyes, you sense it in the demeanor, and that person can generally lift up the spirits of the people around him.
Being mindful helps me be a better actor because it helps me be a better listener.
The dog mindfulness is helping us, but our lack of being mindful as hurting them.
I'll take out my prescription pad and they'll say, you need to give me something for anxiety. So I say, I've got just the thing for you. And I'll write this, mindfulness.
No matter what the situation in the world, you can breathe through it.
And the breath is the link between the body and the mind.
And one person living like that can help so many people. When you breathe in mindfully, or when you make a step mindfully, you realize the miracle of being alive. And that miracle can happen in every moment.
Telling you this long story because the impact it has had on me has completely taken a new course in my own life of practicing mindfulness and teaching students to practice mindfulness throughout their day to help them. But the fun part is teaching it through media. And this Trains, Trams, and Mindfulness will tell you the whole full story. Believe it or not, it's longer than that. One thing I took from Dr. Blaze that's really powerful is, he said, young children are born and already naturally mindful. We just need to help teach them how to maintain it and help build resiliency. Starting them young. There's so many benefits to teaching, SEL and mindfulness to students, but especially with teens, decreasing ADHD symptoms and increasing attention. And it's so true. Teaching them all the different ways that we can do this. And mindfulness is a superpower. It really is. And here are 3 videos you can share with your own students. If you teach elementary, there's an elementary version. This adult version is for adults only. But it's perfect. It's perfect the way it describes what mindfulness is. And teens, of course, are a totally different story, but very powerful videos. When I see things like this, it really warms my heart because this will become the new normal. And in a lot of places on this beautiful planet, it already is, especially on the West Coast. They're already doing this in schools. And the younger you start them, the more normal it will be. So many benefits for all students. But one of my favorites is kids are playing again, especially on the green screen and video production. Kids are playing. Adults are playing. And play is probably the most powerful and positive thing you can do. Plus, it also brings a lot of joy.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is.
I have just as much fun as they do. But it certainly has lifted my spirit during tough times, and I know with the students it does too. Plus, the natural social emotional learning that happens when you use a green screen or doing video is immeasurable. It's incredible what they learn. They have to learn to get along, they have to learn to plan together, and the filming is only this much of it. There's so many things they do together off screen to prepare for their creations. So my aha moment was, oh my gosh, okay, I know how powerful green screen and video is, and I know how powerful mindfulness is. But when I connected the two, it was like, ding, 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 we have a winner. Just never ends, the ideas that just come from this. And the truth is, I truly believe that in order to teach compassion, empathy, kindness, all of those things, you have to give your students a chance to practice it. And let me tell you, kids like to tell each other what to do. So why not have them teach what it is? And that's what we're going to do. One of the things I did is I started a club called Club Mindful. It's actually called Mindful Superheroes, where the kids get together and they practice mindfulness. We do yoga, all of the wonderful mindfulness activities, a lot of breathing techniques, but then we take it to the screen. And these kids come up with things. And one of the things for social emotional learning that happens a lot with kids is negative self-talk. So the kids came up with a skit where they said, well, we're going to put our brakes in that negative self-talk. And they had a lot of fun with this because they had green capes. So they got to be the mindful superheroes. So let's give that a watch.
Have no fear, mindful superheroes are here. I'll help you.
Put your brakes on the negative self-talk, girl.
Yeah, you're human. Everybody makes mistakes. Cancel, clear those negative comments. What else could you say?
I am human, and humans do make mistakes.
That's very true. Even us superheroes. Everybody makes mistakes once in a while.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day. See you again. Stay mindful. Brought to you by the Higgins Mindful Superhero Club. Word.
They just crack me up. They're so cute. So as you can see, you know, they were like, oh, okay, let's put our brakes on that negative self-talk. But the best part about this is when you hear kids in the hallway, you hear them at their lockers, even kids that aren't even in my club, saying, put Joe's brakes on that negative self-talk. And that's when my heart just explodes. It's like, oh my God, it's working. So them coming up with this idea, teaching others about it has spread, and it's been incredible. But I actually do a lot of this in my classroom too. This is how we come up with a lot of our project ideas. You can come up with ideas with anything. This is 80 self-care tips for teens. You can make videos on self-care tips. And we've even made ones for climate action and things like that. So it's just, sometimes we'll just pull a card out of a mindfulness deck and say, all right, look, here's an idea. So it's just absolutely, completely endless of what you can do. And here are some of the fun ideas that we've ended up with over the years. That's one of my favorites. So as you can see, the kids like to work together. They do a lot of silhouetting for shy kids. They love silhouettes. And these are just a few of the samples of even some graphic design that we did. So it's not just about video. Let's check out some of these ideas where we can use mindfulness, social learning, especially in our awesome Genially. I just love that thing that falls down. It's my favorite. You're going to figure that out pretty quickly. So idea number 1, the ABCs of gratitude. Gratitude. Gratitude is a magic potion. It is something that can help heal so many people, everybody, in my opinion. I'm a huge advocate for gratitude. And it's not just being grateful for the big things we're always grateful for. It's an actual science of a practice. And there's somebody that explains it a lot better than I do, and I'm going to let her take the wheel here. So thank you, Miss Oprah Winfrey. Oh, so true. I have a gratitude journal on my phone. I use the Thankful app, but there's so many apps out there, and it's very easy, and it dings at me every night at 9 o'clock. And some days you just can't stop. And you put pictures in there too. Some days it is, it's like, hey, I saw a squirrel, coffee was good, and I made it to work on time. And other days it's different, but it's thinking throughout your day. So with kids, I thought a fun activity would be to use one of these Genially templates. This template is located in infographics, and I called it the ABC of gratitude. What things throughout your day are you grateful for? Now, students could keep a gratitude journal. There's so many ways you could do this. You could teach about gratitude and then have them keep their ABCs. The ABCs can be done in groups. It could be done by themselves over time to come up with things. Also, I put in here the science of gratitude, a nice article for that. So let's check this out. So if I click on the A, it says A is for apple picking with Eiley. Maybe someday we will. Let's see what I have for S here. Soccer. So I had one of my students put some entries in here, and he has a video in here that he linked of him playing soccer, his favorite day of all the goals he got. So he was very excited to be able to add that to his gratitude template. And under K, I put kindness from a stranger, and then put a video of paying it forward in here to show different ways that you can be kind to strangers. So a lot of kids talk about that too, as being something that they're grateful for. It's when somebody was kind to them, or help them with something. So I just showed you there's many different types of media you can add to these. So the kids have options. Each of one of these has a little plus sign that can go to a window, a separate window as one of the options. For example, here with friends, this is a picture that we could add. And you can play around with the template and change it to your own. But besides pictures, you can also add videos, and you can add images, links, and so on. You can even have fun editing your text. Oh, I have green screen in this one, shocker. But it's a lot of fun for them to keep track of their gratitude. And like I said, it depends on how old they are, or if you want partners for it, because some letters are harder than others, but kids get creative. Another thing that's great for students to create is a video about gratitude. Idea number 2, gift a gift is what I called it, but also gift a video. You can make videos here in Genially to celebrate special people in your life. Super easy to do too. And I always tell the kids, and I believe this myself, is that when you're bummed out, the best way to cheer yourself up is to give to others. So giving joy to others can uplift your own soul. It truly can. Get you out of your own way. So here's one I made for Miss Eiley. It's a video that I used and made from scratch. I'll give you a little demo, but check it out. So this one was super fun to make as well. It's literally from scratch. I just started a slide and I put a picture of Eileen, and then I did separate text boxes for these so I could animate them separately. And with the picture with her, you'll notice a circle around her, and this is a great trick here. So if you take an image, just take this one, and it can be a GIF too, and you click up here under masks. You can mask out pictures and GIFs to have nice shapes around them and make them a little more fun. So that's what I did with her picture, and then use different fonts and stuff. And then here for the very first one, I did animate each thing. So under the little symbol here for animation, I just made an entrance for her of bounce. And I didn't do exit or any of that because I wanted it to be on the next slide. And then for her name and stuff, I did just a simple fade in for the first slide and bounce back for this one. And then this is the important one, the third one, or I'm sorry, the word is the one that's going to be animated for every slide. So I made an exit for this one of the fall down. So it has an entrance of bounce, a continuous, I didn't make one, but you can, and an exit. And you might want to make it later or sooner, just depends on yours. But on mine, I didn't have to because I put 2 seconds between each slide. So the first slide was the most work. And then for the second page, I just simply duplicated the slide. But on the second one, I took off the animation for her picture and for these first 2 lines, but I kept the one for the green word, and I just changed it to courageous. Then I duplicated this slide, and the rest of them were pretty simple. You just change the green word and you're good to go. So duplicating simple, you just click on here, okay? And then when you're finished, and I also took off all of the transitions between slides, so it would be nice and smooth. So when I went to save it, I downloaded it as a video, and I put 2 seconds between slides because it needs the second to do the fall thing and fall out. And click download, and they will email it to you. They're very, very nice and Genially. So they email it to you when you're done. I use a website I'm going to share with you here to grab my music. There's lots of different places you can do this, but one place is Pixabay. They have some nice royalty-free music there that you can upload easily. And if you ever find that the music is not, it's too large, the clip, just bring it to a MP3 condenser. online. There's tons of them. If you just Google MP3 condenser, it can condense your music. You can do that with photos and GIFs as well that you want to bring into Genially. Another thing you can do is to take the video you made and bring it to one of the many websites that can turn a video into a GIF. So you can also do #gift a GIF. Idea number 3, all about me and vision boards. Love teaching vision boards. Manifestation, so fun. So there's so many templates and endless possibilities here about this. So let me show you a couple examples and then let your own creativity soar from here. First one is an all about me presentation. I used one called Dancer in Motion template. This template is so cool. It's actually in the interactive images section. As you can see, this is the original template. How cool is this? And she actually dances around in a circle, and each of these is hooked up to another window, interactivity window. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of cool for an all about me project or even a vision board. You can use this for a vision board. So as you can see, I have myself in the center instead of the dancer, and I used one of those masks around me. And these interactive windows are, like I showed you earlier, a lot of fun, lots of ways you can do this. So here, this little plane here, I love that you can put GIFs in too. I also use the masking for that. If you can open the window, and it says, I love to travel and learn about other cultures and unique landscapes. And what's fun is I took this picture of Iceland. I just went to Iceland this summer, and I played around with the styles, rounded, bordered, shadowed, but also it links out to my Instagram to one of my Iceland videos. It's super easy to do this right in Genially. Also, here are a few other great Genially templates for all about me or vision dream boards. One of the most powerful things I think that the students have done are create breathing technique videos with all kinds of different breathing techniques. And this is one with the glitter jar, where my student actually put himself in the glitter jar and taught people how to meditate. All of this could be made in Genially. They have the coolest backgrounds. Also, another extra thing is I love quotes. I feel like quotes are free therapy. So you can have the kids make videos or even posters or infographics or anything you want with a beautiful quote. And here's a quick little video we made in Genially. As you can see, it is endless possibilities of what you can do with quotes, and that's a fun one. The music from that one, it was actually made in Soundtrap, so that was fun to bring in their own music. And of course, always cultivate compassion through creativity in your own world. So here's some more extra inspiration of my students and things they've come up with. Okay, y'all, it's time for you to get your creativity on. Those twins were so fun to work with, and I think everybody should just get started, just give it a try. I also wanted to share with you a series that I did with Mizba from Wakelet called My Mindful Moments with Mizba. It's a whole series of videos all about mindfulness, and it breaks it down. We had a lot of fun. And please join me on my YouTube channel. I'm always posting things, lesson plan ideas and project ideas and things like that. Plus, I have a lot of things in there about mindfulness, like binaural beats and stuff like that. And on my website, greenscreengal.com/home, if you just go to regular greenscreengal.com, you'll see the Green Screen Summit. But if you put /home, you can get some freebies, some fun little lessons. And also enter to win a ticket to some free replays of the Not Just a Green Screen Summit. We have 30 presenters from all over the world. And here are all the places you can find me. It's pretty much a theme. So I want to thank you all for being here today and allowing me to come share my passion with you. And all you need to get started is one of these and one of these. Look at that. Tripod. Of course, you might not be a smoothie cup, might be Dunkin' Donuts. But anyway, that's all you need. Plus, I want you to check out the 10 ways to start a green screen studio on any budget. You can go to the dollar store and get a green tablecloth. You can go to your projector over here and make it green, like a green slide in Genially. And there you go. You'll have a green screen ready to go. And I wish you all lots of compassion throughout your creativity. Thank you and namaste.
Hey, that session was just as amazing as I thought it would be, and I love the way Erica tells a story with everything she does. Okay, so I barely have a second to catch my breath because next up we have the dynamic duo, Genially, to teach us all about barrier-free communication. How good is that? Let's bring them in here with us. Hi.
Hello.
What a beautiful backdrop you have.
Oh, thanks. I hope you can see us because our computer has like an auto lighting. And so we've been trying to switch real quick, but
no problem. We see you.
With 3 computers. Okay, it's crazy. We never look this dark. I
know,
don't understand.
It's very fall. It's very fall.
Yeah, we're embracing the season, right?
I don't know what it is.
I love it. Well, when you're ready, go ahead. You can start sharing your presentation, and I'm so happy you're here with us.
Well, thank you for having us. We're so excited to be here despite all of our technical issues that we're having backstage.
I think that's what makes it so much fun, right? I mean, just working through it. It's all good.
Totally. So I will let you get started here. And
awesome.
I'm seeing screen share. Here we go.
Do you see it? Yay.
All right. Take it away.
All right. Go for it, Jenny.
All right. Well, we're so excited to be here tonight. My name is Jenny Long.
I'm Silly Clark.
And we are
Genially.
We're going to be sharing with you about communication and ways that we use Genially to share effectively and without barriers. So we want to connect with you. We are on all the social platforms. We have a bit.ly, and it's bit.ly/Genially, and it is a lowercase j. So we have that there on the screen. But together, Silly and I have over 40 years of experience in education. We are authors, bloggers, international speakers, and innovation leaders with Castleberry ISD, which is a new position for us this year.
And we want to take just a minute just to brag on Castleberry. We are so excited about joining this awesome new team. If you haven't heard of Castleberry, definitely go look them up. They are very active on Twitter. You can also find them on the website at castleberryisd.net. But they are very forward-thinking with innovation within the district and using technology. In fact, 6 years ago, they began putting Wi-Fi towers in the town, so every student in our district has a device from the school, and the school provides Wi-Fi for them as well. That was all before COVID even was a thing, so you can imagine when COVID came around, they were ready to rock and roll. But they are very forward-thinking, and especially when you're using technology. So if you haven't seen them or heard from them, definitely check them out.
We also wrote the book, the Microsoft Teams Playbook, and it Genially is one of our highlighted features inside of the book. We have over 70 different lessons inside the book with QR codes and things you can just turn around and use tomorrow with any learning management platform, not just teams, but through our experience in COVID and using an LMS for teams, we wrote about all the different ways that you can interact with your students. So definitely check it out. It is on Amazon. All right, so today we want to talk to you about how you can earn trust and different ways we're going to share with you about communication and considering your audience, codes of communication, and then we're going to share with you some of our favorite templates that you can use to communicate inside of Genially. All right, so the first thing we want to talk about is earning trust with our audience and where we should put our energy first before we even begin thinking about communicating with different audiences within education. We found this wonderful article within from South by Southwest. It was a conference in Texas here last spring, and it was a panel of educators who were sharing their new 4 best practices for school communication. And we thought they were pretty interesting and actually what we kind of leaned back on. So I was excited to see that that's what's coming out and what people are embracing. So the first thing that they said was listening to your school community is by far the best thing that you can do and to start with. The next thing they said is don't assume how families communicate. We talk about this all the time, how we communicate differently and how we need to be able to opt into those communication modes within the school. In fact, we had a Twitter chat the other night and we had a friend join us and she actually said that. She said she wishes that the school offered multiple ways to communicate and she could opt into the one that she wants. And I thought that was brilliant.
Hey, Genially, sorry to pop in here. We're having some audio issues, and I wonder if it's a headphone thing or a little bit of popping and distorting of the sound.
Here, let's see. We'll just...
Now I just don't hear you.
Okay.
Things that happen when we go live.
Now?
I think so. Here, why don't we just do a 1, 2, 3 testing? And you're like you're coming in and out.
Oh no. Well, just give us a moment. Let's try something else real quick.
Maybe try using headphones or not using headphones.
Yeah, we've switched microphones twice now. Let's see, is this better? No.
It sounds pretty clear. We get some popping, but you sound better now than before.
Okay.
Let's try.
I think it's better
than before. Awesome.
Okay.
I don't know, but I feel like we're so dark over here.
Maybe turn our light off. Maybe then it will like.
The lighting's okay. The lighting's fine. We can see you. It's
Oh,
audio.
that's even better.
All right, we can hear you. We can hear you better now than before.
Okay, that's great. Okay, good. All right, let's go back. We were here talking about the 4 different practices that South by Southwest panel shared, and they were just saying, don't assume how families communicate. And we had a Twitter space the other night, and we loved how one of our participants shared that she wishes families could opt into communication. They also talked about how we need to improve language translation, which we also agree, especially because a lot of times people who speak a different language than English sometimes feel like they're an afterthought because we don't communicate with them until the next day or the next week when we want it to be in real time. And also navigate community climate and changes with empathy. So when we kind of think about some of the pieces that we feel need to be staples within communication before we even in building those relationships to be able to communicate, we came up with 6 different ones. So some of them were on that list before, but we also believe we should be visible to our community. So making sure that they see us in the community, they see us interacting with the students in the community. We also want to make sure that we're authentic and transparent with our communication and, of course, consistent.
So, and we have the chat open. So I have the screen over here. So we love seeing responses from you in the chat. So we want to know when you're thinking about communicating with your teachers, your community, your students, just any stakeholder that's involved in your education realm, what 3 areas do you feel that are really important for you to put energy into to gain trust of that community? Whether it's, being visible, listening, being a good listener, being empathetic, being transparent, consistency. We'd love to have you put that in the chat because we just like to, have a conversation with you all and find out what kind of things you feel are most important when you're communicating. We've actually spoken at a couple conferences lately. We were in Tennessee at an administrators conference and then at a tech and learning summit. And this was just a really good conversation that we had about ways that we all communicate and barriers that we have when we're communicating in an education setting. So we would love to hear from some of you all that what areas you think are really important for you to put your energy into. So throw that in the chat from, some of the things we've listed here, or maybe some other things that you think.
All right, as you're gathering those ideas, we're going to move on so that way we can make sure we get through everything, but we will definitely come back to that as you throw them in the chat. All right, so as we think about communication, we want to make sure that we invest in the community before we even start trying to build on that communication. But we also want to make sure that when we're communicating, we're recognizing who our audience is. You guys know this as much as we do, but within education, there are a ton of different people that we communicate with. We communicate with teachers, students, parents, the community, our PLN, really, and I'm sure there's others that we're not even thinking of. Those are just the ones that came to our head first. But we thought this quote from Forbes from an article we found about communication was really powerful too. Taking the time and care to consider the audience's situation, analyze their needs, and confront their particular problems not only shows that you're thoughtful, thorough, and well prepared, but also that you respect their time, their process, and their context. I think that's so true. A lot of times, as educators, we just want to blanket send out information and make sure everybody understands everything, but we also need to make sure we're tailoring it to the specific audience. So that way they understand that we are addressing their needs and addressing their wants.
Had a good couple responses. Humility, that was one that we hadn't
I love that one.
And empathy was a popular one, and being a good listener. So those are some of our favorites for sure. But we want to also now talk about that flow of communication and what modes we're using. So whether it is, this is a good quote, it says, who are you trying to reach? And knowing your audience is so important. And sometimes we have to use different ways to communicate. Like paper and pencil is still a good way to communicate because there are some people that aren't on technology. There are people that prefer it to come through a text message. That's us.
Yes,
we want it to come to our phone. And there are still those needs for Facebook and social media. So it's very important, those channels that we're using and knowing those audiences to pick the mode that we communicate most effectively with. So a couple of those different ways we can communicate in different modes are through maybe a podcast, a newsletter, your website, email, text messaging, or social media, which is our favorite. So we want to show you some things here later, and we get to some of our favorite ways that we have communicated and some examples using Genially.
All right, so tomorrow night, actually, at Castleberry, we're super excited because we are doing a coding night. So parents and students are coming, and they're going to rotate through different stations and explore coding. And we're we can't wait. It's going to be great. But in designing the night, we came up with the idea of coming up with an interactive map for our students and our parents to be able to use. So check this out. This is our map of the school and the different stations the students can go to. And we used the, what do you call it, Jenny and Genially? You know this.
Like the hotspot.
Yes.
So it's the interactive image. And it reminds me of ThingLink back in the day, if you remember that. So where you can take an image and you can just add little hotspots. So it could be something that you're connecting to with it puts another image or text or a link or a video, anything that you can connect it outside to.
And so we just put the numbers on top of the different places that the students can rotate through. And we link the numbers to the poster of the graphic. Our plan is to come back and add a quick little blurb about what the station is, but it's a great way to make a map interactive. You can put a QR code around the school. They can scan it and be able to easily see what that station is all about.
And our coworker is actually, and I don't know if you've heard of Glide apps, but he actually is creating all of the stations that they're going to rotate through in a Glide app, which is incredible because you just, on your phone, go to that link. And so they can just quickly access where they're going. But the map makes it really great because now we have this interactivity inside the map. And the maps are great for even I looked on our website earlier today and it wasn't made with Genially. So we need to talk to them about that. but there was a map of the school district, and it was like the land and, you know, where we are, and it had little hotspots on it. So, you know, just thinking about a time where you could use something for a map with hotspots, or even like a plant cell, or, you know, body systems or something like that, where you can connect different little pieces and little call outs on the image, is a great way to use the hotspot image.
And just a disclaimer, I have not figured out how to get Genially inside of Glide yet. It keeps not liking the link, so we're still working on it, but do know it's on our to-do list of trying to figure out how to have the apps work together. All right. We also have an organizational chart. So the executive director with, what is her exact title? Do you know?
Administrative.
Yeah. I don't know, but she's our superintendent's assistant. She created this flow chart.
Incredible.
Of our entire district within Genially. And the reason she wanted Genially is it has all the departments put here, but they're all little and small. And it's impossible to get all of this into, you know, one page for people to be able to view. And so she put it inside of Genially, so that way you can click and you can zoom in on the different sections and be able to actually read the different sections within the organizational chart. But yet it's all still visual from one visual point. And you might not think that this might be communication, but we fully see this as a way of communication, because we want to make sure that everyone understands and can view and know the flow within the district.
I think this is huge, because I mean, I've seen so many organizational charts on paper, but when she showed us this, and she actually learned it at TCA last year when she came away, and she's like, oh my gosh, I learned about this thing called Genially. And one thing we love is every time we present, you know, there aren't many people that have heard of Genially, and it's just this hidden gem, and we love sharing about it. And so she came back and applied her learning right away and made this incredible chart that is easy to update. Like with a link, you can update all of this, and you don't have to go and print a bunch of posters and, you know, redo all of that. So we love the interactivity of this organizational chart. You guys like that? Pretty awesome, isn't it?
We were impressed. So we were like, we have to share this. This is incredible. All right. Another way of communication is a calendar. In fact, we had someone ask us for our roadmap, or our, what was it that they called it? Our tour map of where we were going to be this spring, like where all we're going. And so we were like, oh, that's a great idea. We really do need to make a calendar of our upcoming events. And so we used, of course, Genially to create our calendar of upcoming events. It was super easy. We just put in our images, and then we linked each of these to the different conferences, so that way people could register to go and join us there.
I mean, calendars, there are so many calendar templates within Genially, and that's just another thing that you can even embed, you know, on your website or put out there with your district calendar, or your classroom calendar, or any important events that you have coming up. So check out the calendars for sure.
Awesome. All right. We also have, newsletters. And y'all, we are super excited. We just created a new newsletter within Genially to share out monthly. Oh, Jenny has something to say.
We have a friend here, Van, has been talking about with her community of teachers, sharing on building relationships with the school community and being visible and including learning as much as possible, and giving awards to teachers that share on Twitter. And it helps build that connection to inside the classroom, teacher notes with Candy. So I commented on here that we just did Rockstar shout outs in our newsletter. So we love celebrating teachers. We typically go and do like a little video interview with them. We'll put it on TikTok, or that's kind of how we actually got started with our Genially show, which was a YouTube kind of interview where we'd find out what teachers were doing in their classroom, and we would share it out, because we figured if this teacher was doing something great, this teacher needed to know about it. Or if this one had a question, probably somebody else in the district had that same question. So we started that, but definitely celebrate teachers and the things that they're doing, and creating some type of graphic to share out, or video, or highlight, or something. So Lee worked really hard on this. So pretty.
Well, I was super excited, because I'm with you. We love celebrating our teachers, and especially when they work with us, because we're in a role where we're innovation leaders, and we go in and we partner with teachers, we co-plan, we co-teach. We help even be extra hands in the room to get students logged into things. And these two teachers have been working with us recently. And so we were super excited, and we want to give them something when we go in the room. So we made graphics and cards that we can give them to say thank you, but we also want to make sure that everyone in the district sees it too. So we created the newsletter to be able to shout them out.
So we have rockstar teachers, and then we also have our classroom connections. So we want a place where we can kind of highlight different things that are going on in the classroom and make those curriculum connections. So here, if you haven't heard about Pear Deck's Flashcard Factory, it is pretty incredible.
Awesome.
So we are actually Pear Deck certified coaches now. So we have been entrenched in Pear Deck, which we used Nearpod in our previous district. So it's nice to be able to have a little varied things in our tool belt, I guess. So we also put some seesaw activities that our coworker has created. We created some Genially vocabulary games for our ELA team. They had asked for some ways to review vocabulary. So we're like, Genially, what better way can we create some review activities? And then, of course, we put in a resource for our STAR, which is our state Texas test that's coming up in the spring. Just kind of some different things there with our new question types. So all of that housed here in this section of the Genially.
So it keeps going to different sections. We have a coaches corner where we highlight one of our coaches and the technology that they're using. We have an app spotlight, and then we even have our upcoming events. And so all of this was built within one of the Genially.
Look, we even shared the Genially.
Oh, we did. We did
here in our newsletter. Maybe we'll have some of our Castleberry friends watching.
Hey, they may be. We also enjoyed creating an informational guide within one of the templates of Genially as well. We were sharing actually Genially with some of our friends and trying to make a fun and interactive way for them to learn about the application. So, of course, we used Genially to create it. But with each of the sections, it shows you what it is, and we embedded YouTube videos that either we created or that Genially had available to show how it works with different applications and how we use it in the classroom.
I would love to hear in the chat if you think of a way that you could use maybe anything that we've shared so far. Like, do you have a favorite, or is there an idea of something that you've used that you want to share? Definitely would love to hear that. So you guys put something in the chat. There's been a couple good comments, but we would love to hear ways that you're using some of the templates.
We also wanted to highlight one of our teammates, Stephanie, created a Seesaw video tutorial page within Genially as well.
So cute.
Oh my goodness, I love it. So of course, we're sharing with teachers all the time, coming up with new and different ways to get information in their hands. And this is just, it's beautiful and easy to use. So it's just a video gallery all about Seesaw videos, all about Seesaw tutorials. So anytime someone needs something, they can come here and quickly grab the video and go watch it.
I love the video gallery. Yes. Thank you. Because I think as a teacher too, if I want to have instructional videos, because I was a math teacher, and I know that as a parent would love to have the teacher doing some, quick little instructional videos, and you could house these by unit or however, and have them go to, YouTube playlists or whatever, but just putting those in there in a nice visual representation, I think that is a game changer. And it's pretty. Like, I think that's what people want to go and they want to see, and they want to interact with things that look nice.
I think that's super important too, to make a comment on too. I think during COVID, we automatically, of course, came to technology and we were using it in abundance, but we found the things that we were interacting with were very text heavy. So lots of words, and I'm not necessarily drawn to that, or I don't want to read all of that, nor will I read all of it. And so being able to chunk information or to create information in a visual way to share out with our students and community is super important. And Genially does that in such a great way. And if you're a chemistry teacher, as a mom of a student in chemistry, please create one of these for your students. It will really help the parents out.
Van said that she is the digital learning coach as well and likes the idea of sharing co-teaching ideas that teachers use in the classroom. Great way to highlight teachers' work and things. So we love that. Like, that's just something that we're very passionate about. We even made like these little cards that had cute little sayings on them, like, you're the cupcake in something, and you're a tech.
I came up with all
like
kinds of stuff.
Cute
Who
little
knows?
sayings, and just building our teachers up. And I think now more than ever, they need that. And so anytime we can go in and, I mean, we're on TikTok. We love making TikTok videos and highlighting and showcasing teachers. And it's just that one little extra pat on the back, or, something to make them, to highlight them and the work that they're doing. So definitely there are tons and tons of things you can do here in Genially for that too.
And you guys know, y'all are here learning with us. I mean, that is how we share what amazing things are happening in the classroom. And that's how we learn from each other, is being able to highlight those things. Another thing that we do with Genially is we create social media posts. So we wanted to share one of our favorite ways to do that. A few years ago, we were doing a Tech Tip Tuesday. And so every Tuesday we would post a new tech tip. And it's just interactive and fun. And then you can embed videos. You can share out all kinds of good stuff.
Speaking of Control-Shift-T, y'all, that is the best tip. And we used to have a sticky note on the computer for the longest time, because we'd be like, what's that shortcut? I think Seth actually shared it with us one time, remember?
Yeah, he did. It was Seth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I remember one time I texted him like, Seth, what was that shortcut again? So that was a couple years ago. We have memorized it now.
Yeah,
it's not on our sticky note, but Control-Shift-T opens up all your tabs, and that's all you can see. I mean, this is because we're presenting, but normally I think there was a question earlier when this first got started.
How many tabs
do you have open? I mean, my husband gets mad at me. He's like, if you'd close some tabs, your computer would actually work.
But what's bad is we have multiple profiles.
Browsers and profiles. Yes.
So all of them have like 20 tabs open.
So anytime I close my computer, I open it back up, Control-Shift-T. I mean, I know there's collections and different things, but I mean, Control-Shift-T is my best friend. So check that out if you don't use it.
That's a freebie for you.
Well, and it was in our little Tech Tuesday share.
It was.
Look, Tech Tip Tuesday, Control-Shift-T.
Yes.
You can probably find that video on YouTube.
It is. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's there. And last, we wanted to do to just share how we revealed actually our book on Twitter. We were just trying to think of something outside of the box and fun. And we used a Genially game to do that. And so we were like, oh, that would be really fun to use in any different way, within the classroom, either to reveal the teacher of the month who's doing a great job with technology, or maybe it's to reveal the app that you're going to be focusing on. I mean, you can do it in all kinds of fun ways. But just to kind of give you a quick idea of what we did, we created the game, and then each question was about the book. And if they got it right, then it slowly reveals the cover of our book. So as they get it right, parts disappear. So we thought that was really a fun way to create something interactive and different to use within the classroom, or for our book review, a reveal for sure.
I'm also putting a couple links in the chat. One goes to our website, and on our website, Celie has done an amazing job. She is the mastermind behind anything creative. She is just brilliant.
That one hurts my head.
Well, our website, she has built from scratch, and it looks great. But we have a resource page that she's worked really hard on to put some templates. So there's some great templates in there that you can grab, and links to our other presentations and things. So I put that link in there as well. And then I'm also putting our YouTube link in there, so you can find us on YouTube and see all of our videos.
And if you're on TikTok, definitely come find us at Genially One. It's been the newest way we've been creating content, just because we can create things in 1 minute. Jenny also takes the TikToks though and uploads them to YouTube, so you can catch most of the content on YouTube as well. But we do enjoy making 1 minute videos, so that way we can get information out quickly, and you don't have to, watch a 20-minute video to see something new.
I am curious, are there any TikTok friends out there? Is anybody on TikTok? Would love to hear. Go ahead. Just let us know if you're on TikTok, because we would love to connect with you and see that we can learn from you. So we learn from you guys, and we love sharing and just becoming better. So Celie and I are writing notes to each other over here.
Just trying to figure out where she's at. I'm like, okay. So we want to take a moment and just go into Genially and show you where some of these awesome templates are. Is that your necklace? Yeah. Let's see. Well,
are there any questions while we're getting this pulled up? So just go ahead and put those in the chat if you have any questions or want us to actually search for something specific, while we're pulling up Genially, because we want to get in there and show you some things. Maybe this is a new platform for you and you're here to learn more, or you're an expert user. Maybe we can show you something that you didn't know about. If you have any questions, just put those in the chat. And I apologize that we look like we are in a dark cave, because it's really bothering me that we are so dark.
We're embracing the season. Yes.
I hate it. I hate the winter.
We'll be more prepared on the next one.
You should show our very
camera.
favorite thing in Genially.
Which one? My very favorite? It's not about communication.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're still communicating.
Okay. I mean, I can show y'all my very favorite thing. But when you come into Genially and you go to create, you click on Create Genially, and there's a ton of different templates that you can choose from, or template sections that you can choose from. Maybe. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of them that you can choose from. I think my computer's thinking about it.
Pushing the limits.
It is. I really am pushing it today. I mean, how many things do we have open, right? Isn't that the question? Okay, so here are all of the different sections that you can choose from when you're creating. The interactive image is the one that we used at the beginning for the map. So when you go to create, you click create, you can click on the plus button, and it lets you pull in your image, and then you can add the different hotspots to it to make it interactive. We also used, let's see here. The guide is one of my favorites. So if you click on guide, it's going to bring up all of these different guides. This is also where the video galleries are that we were talking about with the seesaw videos that you can see. You also can see.
Hey, someone is home.
We also have, this is the Essential Places Guide. This is what we used for our newsletter. So we also are big fans of using templates in different ways that we probably wouldn't have thought about.
Celi's brain thinks that way, though. I am more like, if I see it, I'll copy it, where Celi will look at something and she sees something that's not even there. So she is a visionary and can create all the ideas.
It's all from the templates, though. I think that's why I love, one of the reasons I love Genially is it has the templates in there, and it's just such great inspiration that, like, oh, sparks an idea into something else. So this was a guide, and I used it as our newsletter, and so it was the Essential Places Guide. So that was a great way for us to easily create as well. I was going to see if there were any others in here real quick underneath the guide. Those were the main ones that we wanted to show you that we've used for that. We also have used the training materials. Okay, these are pretty incredible. We love all of these presentations. The Wall of Neon, we use this one a lot too. I was trying to see if there was another one in here. I think that's all on that one. I also, sometimes I just search for things. So like Notebook was one, and this is where I located the book to create the guide, the quick guide that we did. It's down here at the bottom. I know it is. There it is, right here.
Training materials, instructional resources.
Okay, so it's under training materials. So that's also something to know too. If you're looking for a specific thing, you can search for it, and it will give you different templates for that too. So I knew I wanted a notebook, and so that's the template that I used for that one as well.
It's so cute.
It was so easy too to make. Like, oh, I just love how it flows. And everybody loves an interactive notebook. Like, I think it makes it really great. Okay, do you want me to show my favorite, our favorite thing?
Sure.
Okay.
You can't talk about Genially without showing. I know gamification is going to be tomorrow, but
You're stealing their thunder.
I know.
Oh, literally.
We love presenting on gamification. It's another one of our passions, and Genially makes it so easy. So if you have not explored the gamification templates, you definitely need to go in and take a look at those, because the vocabulary games that we created were in here as well.
So when you go to create, there's different ones you can choose from. There's quizzes, and if you look over here on the left-hand navigation, it kind of helps you too. There's quizzes, games, and escape games. We're going to take a look at escape games, because these are our ultimate favorite.
So much fun.
Oh my goodness, they're so amazing. I know there's a whole session on escape rooms, so we won't go into it totally, but whenever you get a chance, go check out the horror escape room. It is our favorite. It is so interactive and amazing, and the sound effects, the way that you have to move things around to find things, it really is incredible. So we won't show you all of it, though. I would hate to.
to steal
I don't
it
know
from
what they're going to
someone
share,
else.
but we could talk about gamification forever. But we just love sharing that Genially has made this so easy. And when we tell teachers about this, literally their jaws go, "Oh my gosh, are you like drop to the ground?" And knowing that everything is already scripted and done and linked, and they don't have to do anything other than just put your content in. So everything is just linked beautifully, and you can tailor it to whatever you're teaching. So the breakout escape rooms, it's the big thing. Like kids love going in, working together, collaborating, and beating the clock and seeing who can win. But just take a look at the escape rooms. They are incredible. So I think we're going to wrap it up. We have shared some of our favorite ways to communicate. Definitely go back later. I know it's kind of fast and furious, and we promise that we're not so dark. So you'll have to, we don't live in the dark. You can find us on.
We're at Jenny's house, so they like to keep
the lights are
on.
I don't understand. So, and I asked in the chat if anyone had used the escape rooms. So we have, yes. So Amanda says she's used one for the Escape Game Factory. It was perfect. So
good.
That's great. Love hearing that. So if you have any, questions or thoughts, feel free to reach out to us. We are on social, like we said. And
we were going to wrap up with this beautiful slide here. With communication, you guys know things are coming at us a mile a minute, and it really can be a big whirlwind of information being thrown at our community. So just remember these 4 things. You want to make sure that you're communicating effectively with different types of audiences. You also want to make sure that you are selecting the correct channel of where that audience is located. So it might be Twitter, it might be Facebook, it might be email, it might be paper and pencil, like Jenny mentioned. You also want to make sure that you're being consistent. And of course, the mode, selecting the best tool to create these different types of communication. And we hope that you've seen a few different ideas for using Genially for communication that may not have been on your radar, but hopefully they'll come in handy.
And I think the one thing that we were kind of talking about is making it engaging and making it visually appealing, because there is so much content out there, and we live in a time and age where things are just flashing and coming at us so fast, but we almost have to make it that way so that it will catch our attention. So Genially does help with that, so that you can, get in the face of people and like, oh, I want to read that, or I want to check that out. So definitely check it out. And we definitely want to connect with you. And look at our Bitly. So we're on, Wakelet and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
Do we have any TikTok fans?
I don't
or
think
not
that they
fans,
said.
friends.
I don't think
No TikTok friends. Okay, that's okay.
But we appreciate the time tonight, and we thank you so much. And hopefully we've shared some things that kind of spark you to think, and those light bulb moments have gone off, and you'll go back in Genially and just start creating and, thinking about your audience in ways that you can communicate effectively. So we appreciate your time tonight. Don't forget to go and be
a different kind of awesome.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
So
Emily,
good.
wow, what an awesome presentation.
Big fan of you, ladies. I love all you do. It's
The
amazing.
book reveal was amazing.
It really was.
Thank you.
How
Thank you.
are you?
I'm a little bit, it's not from today. It's from the last few weeks of all the sitting I've been doing. I'm a little bit stiff, and I was wondering if you had something for me, maybe something a little bit mindful that could help me and others like me connect with our bodies for a moment, get some relief and relaxation. Ooh, that could work.
Well, you should ask, Eiley, because yes, I'm going to finish up that breathing part.
Awesome.
I started because I accused everybody of making excuses. So let me give you the rest of that.
I would love that.
Then we're going to dive into some chair yoga. Yeah. So if you don't have something on where you can participate, maybe run and put on some sweats, or you don't even have to, actually. Doesn't matter. But I'm very excited. Yes, very excited. And more so for us and for myself, because I've been sitting. Let's find.
Here we are, and we can relax a little bit before we get all excited again, because we're going to find out who has won our Edu Pro plans today. Also, Erica, here we are. We're pulling it up. As we do that, for those of you who don't know this, also a 50% discount for Edu Pro plan right now with the code. Here I have it, EduPro50Fest. I'm going to put that in the chat. All right, let's get some breathing.
Thanks, Hailey. I'm excited. So, as I was saying earlier, that, I'm the biggest one to make excuses because we're just busy, busy, busy all the time. But I want to show you some fun ideas and would welcome your ideas to add to this list of ways to be able to use your breathing techniques throughout your day. So, part of breathing too is holding your breath. And as you can see here, it lowers inflammation in your body and in all kinds of health benefits. It's really fascinating to read about how powerful breathing techniques are. So, I'm gonna move on. Okay, this was mentioned actually earlier from Kathy and Seth. I was so excited. Box breathing. Box breathing is really powerful. We're going to try it here in a second. But I want you to participate if you feel up to it. I promise to make you feel better by the time you leave. But with box breathing, it's pretty simple. You breathe in for 4 seconds and then hold it down the second side of the square for 4. Breathe out and then hold. This is really powerful for kids. So let's give it a try. We're going to go around 3 times. Oh, now he's going to the okay, when it comes back around. But as you can see here, I have a little video of one that my students made. So let's go ahead and start. Inhale. Hold it. And exhale. And exhale it all the way out. And then hold. Inhale. All the way up to the crown of your head. Hold. And exhale. Through your nose or your mouth. And hold. And one more time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. The one part I always forget, I'm a yoga and Pilates instructor. I forget I'm not supposed to actually get the benefits from it, but I love it so much. And here my students made one on my YouTube channel that you can check out. It's really cute. Okay. 3 places you can choose, it is a choice, to breathe in your daily lives. So I just showed you box breathing. I mean, think about what the shape is. Where do you see that shape? I should have told you to use your computer screen for this one. Look at a window. Let the window remind you to breathe. Box breathing. Bring you out of that waves. Let's stop the waves. We can learn how to surf. Take you out of that fight or flight in seconds. It's amazing. So look at all these places. Someone said to me, "But Erica, the airplane window's round." I'm like, it's still a rectangle. So when you see signs on the street, when you look at your fireplace, you look at your television set, just to remind you to try to do 1 minute of box breathing. Now, this one's my favorite. I live in New England. There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people. So next time you're at a red light, you're at a stoplight and you can't, what do we normally do? I know what I used to do at red lights, and that's, stress out about not getting through the light. So there's this breathing technique called breathing in thirds, where you're going to breathe up 1/3 and hold it. Breathe a second breath, keep holding the whole time, and breathe to the top. Now, you don't have to move your arms like I will, but that's just for me to help you be visual. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Red light. Oh, no. Okay, let's go ahead and go up the stoplight. Inhale. 1/3, hold it. Inhale. 2/3, hold it. Inhale. And then exhale all the way out. Let's do that one again. Inhale. 1/3. Inhale. 2/3. Inhale. And exhale. Woo! It feels good. I can't see the chat box right now, but I would love for you to tell me how you feel from trying this. And Kathy also mentioned this one. This is something my students and I do with the green screen, is I have them create videos about breathing techniques. And watching them practice them is hilarious because they're so zen the whole time and they get really relaxed. It's just adorable. Oh, I love doing this. And we're also making breathing bubbles, which you'll hear about more. Okay. that blue dot. A great book that I've always recommended people is Atomic Habits. He talks in Atomic Habits about habit stacking. And it's so true. I mean, you can habit stack with everything in your life. For example, every time you wake up, set a daily intention. A lot of times I'll say, okay, when I go after I brush my teeth, I'm going to drink a glass of water. Things like that. Use bathroom. But habit stacking is really powerful. So I said, well, why don't we just call it mind, body, spirit stacking? And also binaural beats. This is something you can use these for everything. You can use them for migraines. That's what I use them for sometimes. And everything's in there to help heal you through that. But let's get to the body part. Now, before we start, when my students or just people in general in life, we get stressed out, we don't always want to talk about it. Talking is powerful. Mindfulness is powerful, but it gets trapped in your body. So I want you to tell me, where do you feel stress in your body? Tell us in the chat box. And I know I feel it in my lower back, and I feel it whenever I'm late, which is a lot. I feel it in the middle of my back. Sometimes I feel it in my stomach. So where do you feel it in your body? I don't know if anybody's here. I hope so. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you said your shoulders, your neck, and things like that. And so what we do is we do a simple chair yoga, or even kind of restorative yoga is a great way to move these things out of your body, even just some simple stretches at your chair. Now, these are two of my dear friends, Barbara Bray and Trisha Fugelstad, who's actually here. And actually, Trisha came up with this idea because I was telling her about, where can we breathe and where can we do yoga? And she came up with the Keurig coffee yoga. And I have some moves here. We're not going to do this one. We're going to do the next one together. But a Keurig cycle is exactly 1 minute. Close enough. So next time you make your coffee, think about some stretches and things you can do during that time. Now, funny story. Sorry, Trisha, I have to tell it. Just remember to put your coffee cup underneath. That one. But I thought that was a great idea. And here's a little bit more advanced coffee yoga for those of you who are already practicing yoga. It's a great time to do it. I try this every morning. So, where do you feel it in your body? I hope some of you were able to answer that, because that's the first clue to know I need to do something. I need to move. So let's do some chair yoga. I love chair yoga. But before I do that, I need to tell you that, if you are pregnant, please don't twist. If you are injured, please don't do this without a doctor. Got it? Okay. All right. Isla, you can move me up if you want. Okay, great. Thank you. So let's go ahead and give this a try together to get through as much as I can. This first one, I want you to breathe in your torso, just to settle in your chair. And I want you to feel, are you cold? Are you hot? Feel your feet on the floor. Feel all four corners of it. And just take a breath. Okay. Move number 1. I want you to stretch your back. Look funny on a computer. And then lift up. But as you do this, I want you to exhale and inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Let's do 2 more. And lift. And 1 more. Oh, that feels so good. I call them yummy poses. Okay, next, the twist. Now, the important thing with twisting in your chair, first of all, don't twist if you're pregnant, is to keep your knees together. You can even go on your tippy toes if it's a little much for you. But grab the back of your chair and lift your spine and turn. And another thing you can do is stretch your arm back. I'll knock over my green screen. Straight back there, but you don't have to. And twist. Other side, go ahead, grab the back of your chair, lift. And twist. Stretch your arm if you want to. Okay, let's do 1 more. Go ahead and lift And twist. And other side. We do this in my class almost every day, and the kids love it. This next one is to open up your shoulder blades. Now, when you do this, you want to wiggle your fingers and lift your elbow and arm to 90 degrees. A lot of people will do this. So tell the kids, pretend that I am rolling your shoulders and pushing them down. Go ahead and lift on up. You can feel your scapula open up. It's a little bit tingly, so breathe into it. Inhale and exhale. And let's go ahead and do the other one. This is the top part of eagle. If you're a yogini out there, yoga master. That one's a doozy. Tell the kids, I tell the boys especially, I actually tell all of them that you're going to throw a football farther if you do this, and it makes them do it. So this next one, go ahead and grab your foot and make sure that your foot, I love lifting my leg for this, that you don't bend your ankle either way, that you have it flat. I should have worn better socks. And just go ahead and roll your shoulders back and lift your heart and lean forward. Inhale and exhale. Your hips will be screaming. Mine are. Just do what's comfortable for you and lean forward. I do this on planes a lot too when I travel. Oh, it's magical. We carry, especially women, we carry 90% of our stress on our hips. Go ahead and lift your left leg up, or whatever leg you didn't use yet, and lean forward. Just try not to roll your ankle. Make sure your foot is flat and you're touching the bottom of your foot to make sure that you're safe. That's my yoga teacher talk. But make sure you also lift your heart. You're not slouching. And one more time. Good. I would do that one for a little while longer. Now this one, if you don't want to go down to the floor, you can, the other way you can do this, I practiced earlier, you can lean on one leg and stretch up like this to the ceiling. Just try not to overextend your arm and spread your fingers. And you can do that on both sides, but I'm going to leave camera right now, and I'm going to go right between my legs down here and just come on down. And then come on up. This is a good one. And stretch down. Now keep all four corners of your feet on the floor. And if you don't feel stable, please just lean to the side. And one more. And I'm back. I wonder if anybody's watching. Okay, this next one, you can choose to stay seated if you want, and just lift your what are those called? Your heels up and down. Or you can stand up. Inhale. I lost the screen. And down. And lift. And down. Do that a couple more times. But like I said, if you're sitting, you can just roll your ankles even, but just lift. This really helps your calves. Awesome. Just get a cramp, drink some water, please. And this is another one I love. Once again, you can stay seated if you would like. You can even reach to the front of your desk and push your chair back and lean on your desk. Or you can push your chair out and lean back. Just try not to lock your knees. Soften your knees, all four corners of your feet. And if you feel unstable, please sit down or, put your legs wider apart. This is hilarious. This would be a good screenshot. And breathe. Oh, that one is good. Especially if you've been sitting for a while. Don't worry, Eiley, I'm almost done. And I could go on with chair yoga. You don't have to do this one, but that would be funny. And I hope that here, I work with my students, and they love chair yoga. And we're actually making videos. This video is pretty funny. It's worth the watch. I will add all of these slides to my show. And here, you can't, if you can take it farther, you can actually do full yoga practices. And from being someone who teaches yoga and even had injuries myself, I use a chair a lot now for my lunges. And you get a better stretch. Oh, it's amazing. So that's a great thing. And I have in here in the slideshow for you, you will have videos for all levels. And if you want to step it up, you can do a lot with a chair. It's amazing. I don't think enough people know that. Here's a 10-minute yoga for you. It's restorative yoga if you're sitting all day. Restorative yoga, a lot of it's on the floor. So when you hear yoga, don't get scared. I mean, we do this in Elaine Berry, she's a dear friend of mine. We do this in her classroom every Thursday. And a bunch of us get together and do just watch a video, and I can share that video too with you every Thursday after school. And then I put this in here for you as well, so you can have some resources. There's some yoga in here, there's breathing, there's kids yoga, and so on. And one last slide I'm looking for. I also have in here wheelchair yoga that is in here. So I think it's important to have that as well. We have several students in wheelchairs, and there is a different way to do chair yoga, but it is very powerful for people in wheelchairs. So I will make sure that video is attached, so you have that as well. And I thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.
Oh, that was so good. Hello, everyone. I loved hearing you say, I hope there's somebody there. I'm like, oh yeah, we're all watching. We're all moving.
When I asked them if people felt it in their body, I guess I was in the wrong
see all the
chat.
responses. Like we had, I'm reading now. Shoulders and
Neck,
jaw,
lower back.
stomach,
There it is.
chest, lower back.
Kira Gilder, yes, that's Fugal Fun. Yes, sorry I had to tell that story, Trisha, but that was adorable. She's great.
I was following along with you, and I did something that just made my whole back like crack. It was awesome.
Isn't it though?
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like a new
people who
person.
sit all day. Yeah, I don't know where that slide went, but I will make sure all of that is in my Genially after we sign off tonight. Yeah, I didn't want to ruin the surprise.
So now that I'm feeling a little bit more restored and relaxed, it's time for one of my favorite things in the entire world, which is giving gifts. And we have some winners to announce. Let me see if I can pull them up here. All right, are you ready? Eric, I'm going to have you read them out.
Oh, sorry.
Are you ready?
I was all zenned out. And the winners are... Dun, dun, dun. Congrats. Pride Right Old Boober. Okay.
And
you did not set me up for this. So if that is your handle, you just won. Actually, I thought we had the name.
We have two.
And
we also have
Cyber
Cyber Antiquity.
I know their names. Wasn't it? I don't want to say the wrong names. Did you want me to say the names?
No, we have their handles. It's what they need to know. They've won.
Okay. I know one of these people because she came to my Green Screen Summit, and she's a superstar, and
that's amazing.
We just love her work. Yeah.
Hooray! Well, if you are one of these two people, I will be sending you a direct message, a DM, to set up your Edu Pro plan. And if you did not win today, all of your entries still count towards the next 2 days. And if you would like to purchase an Edu Pro plan, you can get 50% off with Edu Pro 50 Fest. I'll put that in the chat again. All righty. Let me stick that in there. Okay.
Okay, you ready for me?
Yeah, I'm always ready for you.
I'll tell you, you did a great job putting this together. Okay, so I wanted to tell you about something very cool. One last tip for you today. Okay, and that's for you, all of you using Google Classroom. Genially has an has an add-on, meaning that you can now, I don't have an excuse because it's like 3 in the morning for you.
You're doing great.
You can assign Geniallys right in Google Classroom for your students. But the coolest part is it has the visual effects of all that animated interactive glory that the students are going to love and go nuts because everyone here showed so many cool templates today. So right there, and we're going to learn more about this from Dave Messer. He's going to tell us all about it. A lot better than that.
Here he comes.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. Before we get started, I want to take a minute just to say thanks for all the work that you do for students every day. I'm inspired that each of you are here to learn how you can make your classrooms even more amazing. Thanks. Today, we're super excited to share that your favorite EdTech tools now work even better together with classroom add-ons. So my name is Dave Messer. I'm a former educator and now a product manager for Google Classroom. Google for Education began with a mission to empower educators and students to teach, learn, and collaborate from anywhere. Google Classroom is now moving towards deeper interconnectivity between your favorite edtech tools to help you power student potential. Google Classroom is an easy-to-use and secure tool that helps you manage, measure, and enrich experiences. It's easy to get started and really simple to use. It was built for collaboration, and it lets you teach and your students learn from anywhere on any device. Now, with Classroom add-ons, you can create more engaging, seamless, and personalized experiences for your students, all within Google Classroom. Classroom add-ons weave together your favorite tools to help save you time, to help you create engaging lessons, to simplify submissions, and streamline the insights and grading process. To get started, for domains with the Teaching and Learning Upgrade or EDU+, you can install Classroom add-ons in minutes. Have your admin go to the Google Workspace Marketplace, find the add-on you need, and install it in seconds. We're super excited to have 15 amazing partners available and more to come. With that, let's take a quick look to see add-ons in action.
Google Classroom Add-ons is a new feature that allows you to bring your favorite content, activities, and lessons from top edtech tools right inside Classroom. Once your admin sets up an add-on, you, the teacher, can find it and get logged in with just a few clicks. Add-ons use a single sign-on from Google, so you and your students can sign into Classroom and your add-ons with the same secure login, removing the need to remember multiple passwords. And no more navigating to different websites to access classwork. Everything stays right within Classroom. To access content from your add-ons, open a new assignment in Classroom and select the add-on you want to use. Add-ons are custom built, so depending on the tool you're using, you'll be able to do things like browse, search, filter, and preview the content you want to use, then assign it to your students. Students are directed to complete the assignment, all without leaving Classroom. Some add-ons automatically grade assignments and upload grades to Classroom, saving you time, as well as providing detailed visibility into student performance. Learn, organize, collaborate, create with Classroom.
Thank you for your time. We look forward to
Hello, everyone. We've reached the end of, well, we're reaching the end of day one of EdFest. Thank you so much, everyone here with us. I know Eric and I are loving seeing what you're learning and creating on social media. We've been going through Twitter and Instagram to see what's up there. And don't forget to get your participation certificates for 8 hours. You can look in the chat for the link to download yours. That'll be shared now. Let's see if it's already there. There it is. Okay, your EdFest diploma. And tomorrow, please join us again. We'll be diving into one of my favorite topics of all time, which is games, gamification, and game-based learning for online and in-person learners. I know it shows. I'm super excited.
Yes, I'm excited too. Bring it. Bring it, Eiley. Oh, yeah, it's going to get a little crazy. We had the Zen day. Tomorrow, it's competition. But also, everybody, a reminder you can still be in the drawing for the winning of the EduPro licensing. But, teachers need to know what you're learning here because this stuff is incredible. So please post with the hashtag
Genially EdFest.
EdFest, and also tag the presenters, and just keep those screenshots coming, even for watching the replays. We truly appreciate it, and we're super excited, and I'm just so thrilled to be here. Can you tell? Oh my gosh, that yoga made me feel great.
I'm already getting hyped for tomorrow. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great night, everybody. Namaste. Woo-hoo.
Bye.